Maybe somebody will get a notification and we'll have a
We
person.
are live. I know. Weird that no one's here, but that's okay. Um,
We had it for 3 o'clock and people were waiting at 3 o'clock, and then I had to extend it because I was pressure washing the truck.
oh, here we go. I just got a notification, so maybe we'll get some people.
Yeah, you just got a
Here we go. I
notification.
just got a notification, so maybe we'll get some. Let me turn your phone down.
Yeah. Yeah, turn the phone volume down.
There, now. Okay.
Where's my
Well,
soda?
it's up here. Hold on. Sody for Mab.
Donna Clark, what's going on?
Oh, hi, Donna.
We have Donna. We
We
got
have
one
Donna.
person.
We have one.
It's going to be you, me, and Donna. We're going to have our own live. How are you doing, Donna? Tell us how you're doing today.
Bombshell just went live too, so
Oh,
I think there's probably a lot of people there. But Odin girl,
Deborah Thompson, Odin girl. Okay.
yay! Okay, we have some
Okay, we
peeps.
got some people.
Hey, people. So we've been, oh my goodness, so many projects. We had, so you guys all know we have a rental property about a half hour away, and we had the septic tank pumped, and the house is old. The septic tank's
Well,
old. So much.
when I dug it up, and there wasn't even a lid on one side.
It's
It was
tarp.
some wood and tarp. I was like, what the hell is going on here? And I found it with my dowsing rods, right? I walk over and I douse the whole periphery of the thing, and then my dowsing rods go bam right over the lid. And I, with a post hole digger, I'm digging to see if I could hit the concrete, and the post hole digger just went like it was going to drop. If I didn't hang on to it, it would have gone all the way into the tank. Hi, charming Jenna. How you doing, sweetie?
We got lunch lady also.
Lunch lady.
Hi, you guys. We're
We
so
got a few
excited.
people.
I'm sorry. I'm just really hung up on one of my eyebrows right now. It's
One of
like
them's a little bit fatter than the other
one of
one.
them looks so weird, and I
Just
like didn't even do
having
anything.
eyebrow issues.
Oh
At
my
least you don't
god.
have a unibrow.
Oh, you keep popping in and out, Mab. Like all of a sudden my screen will spin and then you reappear. It's kind of weird.
Oh, charming Jenna is good. Lunch
Good to
lady.
hear.
So I dig up the septic tank, and one side is like 4.5 inches thick, like it's supposed to be, and the other side is like an inch and a half thick, and it's like the concrete has been corroded over the 50 years or whatever that tank has been in the ground. And then when we pumped it, I looked in, and there's these huge root balls inside the tank.
Oh my god. So the guy pumping the septic tank was a very big boy.
Like 350 pounds.
So normally the guys that pump your tank get in the tank and like pressure wash it and stuff like that, but this guy couldn't get in there. So Mab, in his regular clothes, I mean they're work clothes, but like no overalls, gets in the freaking septic tank after it had been hosed off and everything, like it had been cleaned out, but he gets in there and
Well, the walls were not clean.
cuts these root balls out, and then we had to drive home together, and it was not a pleasant smell, can I say, for the 30-minute drive home.
I accidentally leaned up against the wall, and it was like this black sludge.
Oh, yeah.
Stinky.
Ew, Mab is Donna. You are right.
Totally.
Oh my god. But it's that was like, I don't know, 6 weeks ago, and then it rained a lot. So we couldn't do anything about it. But we ended up getting like
Anyway,
just
let me talk
concrete.
about yes. So the septic guy, Army Mom 2020. How you doing?
Hey. Thank you.
White teeth. She got
That's
the
so
best
sweet.
teeth in the world. Anyway, we had the problem is that septic tank was going to collapse in the next 5 years, 2 years, 1 year, but it was really thin and it was getting ready to collapse. Yeah.
Yeah, it was not a
And
truck, unfortunately.
so the septic guy told me how to fix it. He's like, we charge, this many thousands of dollars. Hey, Aaron, what's up? How you doing, buddy? Aaron B, just like my Aaron B.
Oh my gosh, our nephew is Aaron B. That's crazy.
Right. Anyway, so he tells me how to fix it. So you'd have to dig around the outside of the septic tank. First, you have to dig up the whole tank. Then you have to go 16 inches below the surface, all around the edge, and then you have to go below this. There's a seam like this big in between the lid and the actual tank. And the roots, once that seal goes bad, the roots get in there and they form these huge root balls, and it screws up your concrete and everything else. So you have to dig that whole periphery up. Then you have to chisel the roots out, and then you have to 3 roosters. Amen. Thanks to Truth.
Yay.
Right on. It's good to see the roosters.
Rooster Squad. Mab's been on Truth's podcast a couple times.
Yeah, we talked for about an hour last time. Anyway, I had to dig around the whole thing. Angelina, hello, how you doing?
Hey, Angelina.
So I had to dig around the whole outside of the septic tank, 16 inches down by myself with a freaking metal bar and a little shovel. And then I had to clean out that seam, and then I had to seal the seam with like the special concrete stuff. And then I had to put rebar around the outside. King Alex, what's up? Good to see you, man.
What up, King Alex?
So I had to put rebar in the thing, and then rebar, coming up at 45 to catch the top. So I poured the whole periphery, and then I put more rebar on the top, and then I had to pour a new top. So now we have a new top to the septic tank. That's going to last 100 years. And we don't have to get a new septic tank, because if we did, it would cost us probably about $100,000 because they've changed the regulations.
And it's California.
Yeah.
It's
California.
We have a well, we have a creek. And so with all the rules about where you can dig, which I'm glad. I mean, there should be rules, but it would have been a nightmare.
I mean, we're by a river and within 100 feet. We're not within 100 feet of the well. Or the well.
Right.
Anyway, to get a new septic, they make you get these fancy septic tanks that have bubblers and UV light and all this crap, and it costs like $100,000, and they're shitty and they don't work. So that was what I was doing the last 6 weeks.
All I wanted was for it to outlast us, so we don't have to deal with it in our lifetime and leave it for the next person. But I think it will outlast even. Yeah,
it'll outlast my daughter. My daughter's going to end up with everything.
Yeah.
She'll be rich with property.
She wants to be rich now, but
yeah,
poor thing.
Dolly Good 66.
Hey, Dolly Good 66.
Really, really good to see you. Yeah, it was totally an ordeal, Deborah. It was a nightmare. And I did the whole thing by myself. I'm 62, so I'm doing this totally hard labor.
Yeah.
Coming home, waking up.
Luckily, we do have equipment. I mean, like we have a cement mixer, and we have the truck and a jackhammer and, all this stuff. But it's still like, I mean, I went over there. There's really nothing I could do except like hold stuff in place and hand him tools. But
so we bought 2 pallets of concrete, and me and another guy poured both. Tony, what's cracking, buddy?
Tony the Tiger, good to see you. Thanks for stopping by.
I hate paying people for things I know I can do myself. However, I feel like I may have drawn a line with the septic tank. Normally that would be me too. But if it would have cost like $2,000, I would have done it. You know, it cost us probably $2,000
in materials
in materials and stuff.
alone. Yeah. So I can't imagine what it would have cost. Plus, we would have needed permits, and the city
Yeah,
is a
and that's
nightmare.
where it gets
I
into the
dropped my
hundreds of
slipper.
grand.
Hold on.
So now
But
it's fixed, and nobody can say anything because it's underground. I put risers on it, so you
and we
don't have
took
to dig it
pictures.
out.
So
We took
of
pictures
while we're
and
doing it.
videos.
But I'm sure septic tanks are not super interesting for everybody.
Yeah.
It was interesting for us because we had to do it.
Army Mom, Google is my best friend on repairs. YouTube's my best friend on
Right.
repairs. I just watched a video about how to do it. My jackhammer stopped working when I was digging up the septic tank. Right at the end, thank God. But I
The
bought
UV light thing is a total gimmick, and they try to sell like dental products too with UV lights for like I can't even think of the word, for like cleaning your toothbrush or cleaning your retainers or whatever, and the UV light doesn't do anything. So I don't know what it does in the septic tank.
nothing. I mean, it's crap. I used to work for a guy that put in septic tanks. That's how I know how to do it. And I called his son, who knows all about septic tanks too, and he said what they're making them do is it's in Carmel is like buy these $100,000 tanks, and then they fail. Then you have to call somebody out and pay thousands of dollars to have them fixed. And the whole gimmick is that you can water your plants with the water that comes out.
Well,
Like you
that's
can
why we
do
have a
that.
well. We don't need that water.
Right.
There's plenty of water. Oh my gosh. I mean,
Yeah, we're
yeah,
really glad that's behind us, Deborah. So we were talking about tariffs, and Mrs MAB was like, somebody at your work was buying a car because she was afraid.
So freaking California, sorry, just got to say it. I mean, I work in a really wealthy area, and you would think there would be some conservative people there, and there really aren't, and it's shocking. And some lady in her maybe mid 60s comes in, and we're chatting, and she says that she just bought a car, even though she didn't really need one, because number one, they're not going to, by a certain year, she said 2038 or 34, they're not going to let you buy gasoline vehicles anymore. And number two, she wanted to buy it before the tariffs. And I was like, okay, whatever. I'm pretty sure they're not outlawing gasoline cars anymore. And
They aren't.
what the hell? I'm sorry, I'm not a stupid person, but what the hell is a tariff? You know,
Yeah.
like, I don't know. And everybody's advertising about, oh, buy now before tariffs. And I'm like, what we're getting taxed on importing stuff? Like, what?
Here's the tariff. What a tariff is a surcharge on products imported into our country. And that's She-Wolf. Hello. How's it going?
And Alex got tacos today. So good for you, Alex.
Oh, we got baptized.
I love
April
Tony.
16th.
Wow.
Amen, brother.
Good for
Did
you,
you get
Tony.
wet?
He is risen. Good for
He
you,
is
man.
risen.
That's cool.
That's awesome. So, yeah, tariff is basically a surcharge on imports. So if China was sending us a car for 10 grand and we had a 10% tariff on it, they would have to pay us, it would be 11 grand to buy it.
We would have to
1,000
pay
of that would go to the government because the government takes a 10%. So that's the tariff. But everybody else in the world,
that gets passed on to the consumer.
yeah.
That's what this lady's saying is like, oh, that tariff is going to get passed on to us.
but it's not going to get passed on to you if the car's made in America.
Right.
If you buy a Tesla, there's no tariffs, or if you buy a car that's made here, there's no tariff. So all the car companies move to Mexico or China or Japan, Honda. All the cars are made somewhere else now. In which state?
Michigan, Flint,
Detroit, Michigan, where all the cars used to be made.
I was thinking of something else.
My friend streamed an event at Huntington Beach yesterday called Baptized California. That's cool. What was I saying?
Something about cars made in America.
Yeah. So if the cars are made in America, that's why all these trillions of dollars are being invested in the United States right now, because people are moving their plants back to America so they can build cars here so they can avoid tariffs. And it creates jobs for Americans. So what happened over the last 20 years or more, 30 years, is that we offshored all of our manufacturing. We offshored, we shut down steel plants, we shut down automobile plants, we offshored everything so we could take advantage of cheap labor. And we screwed ourselves by doing that because everybody lost their jobs, all of the, union guys. That's why they're all for Trump, because of the tariffs. And they want that. So we have this tariff mission on this Independence Day, which the thumbnail is. Trump came up with counter tariffs to all the countries that already have tariffs on us that we've been paying, or all the other countries just outright ban the sale of American cars in their countries. Like Europe, they don't take any of our cars. Japan doesn't take any of our cars. All these countries don't take any of our cars, and we buy all people's cars from BMW, Honda, Japan, everybody. And we get screwed. And we lose $1 trillion every year because we have offshored everything, because of corporate greed, because of being stupid, whatever the case may be. That's what happened. But in a time of crisis, like it's like a third world war or something like that, we'd be screwed because we wouldn't be able to have steel, we wouldn't be able to buy pharmaceuticals, we wouldn't be able to, everything that comes from another country, we wouldn't be able to get. And so that screws us. For national security's sake, we have to have the ability to produce what we need in our country, made by Americans with good paying jobs. So
America,
damn it.
H. Davis says,
what's going on, brother?
Good to see you, man. We're just ranting.
Yeah. Yes, Angelina, you're exactly
Angelina.
right.
Right.
We're not going to be taken advantage of anymore. So all Trump did was zero out the tariffs for every other country except China. He added extra tariff to China because of the fentanyl, because they keep sending the precursors of fentanyl to Mexico so they can kill us.
Can't say that word.
What? Kill?
No. The F word.
Oh, whatever. I don't make any money off of YouTube. I don't beg for subscribers. I don't beg for likes. So I don't give a shit. If they want to take the video down, they can take the video down for saying the F word. Anyway, that is what I was explaining to Mrs MAB the other day, yesterday, I think. So Trump has zeroed out all the tariffs by setting up tariffs for every other country. Now everybody's lining up to make a deal. Now they got to start. He needs to. You remember when he did the tariffs on Independence Day? The stock market freaked out and lost like millions of gazillion dollars or whatever. Everybody freaked out and had a tizzy fit. But they don't understand Trump. They don't understand the art of the deal, right? Trump's just doing what Trump does. He's saying, this is what's going to happen. I'm going to do tariffs, big tariffs, big, beautiful tariffs. Okay.
It's going to be the best.
Everybody in the world. It's going to be great. And it is going to be
Trump wig.
Huh? Yeah. We bought a Trump wig. I was going to try to do Trump impressions, but I'm not very good at it. Not very good at
you're
it.
Pretty good.
But Mablania,
yeah, no.
Mablania is the beautiful first lady of MAB Investigates. So, yeah. What was I going to name now?
I don't know.
So what about, and so that's tariffs, you know. The stock market, I predict, will go up by 1,000 points in the next 6 months. Probably in the next 3 months, but definitely in the next 6 months. A bunch of people sold their shit when it went down. It's the stupidest thing you can do. Warren Buffett said, some people just should not be in the stock market at all because they ain't got the balls for it.
That was my mom.
Your mother was just like that. When it crashed, she sold everything. It's like, okay, let's wait until we lose our ass and then sell. That's perfect. You never sell at the bottom. You sell at the top.
You buy at the bottom. Buy at the bottom.
The greedy people at the top, they're hoping it goes higher. So they don't sell. And then when it drops, they sell. And go on something else.
It's so stressful, though. That was the thing with my mom, is she had money and she was really playing the stock market and she had a great guy. And this was before the internet. So she would like look in the newspaper every day and see the values and do all this stuff. And then I guess in the early 90s, maybe things crashed and she panicked and she freaking sold everything. And I was like, Mom, and she's smarter than that, but she was so stressed out about it that she just didn't want to deal with it anymore. So she just got out 100%. But yeah.
Yeah. Angelina, you're right. It is going to soar within about 3 months. I agree. First, when you first see this first, second, and third trade deal made, the stock market's going to soar. Because then they're going to get it. Okay, everything's going to be fine. And we're going to have billions and billions and billions of dollars invested in the United States. We're going to have millions of jobs created so that we can put people back to work and make money. And at the same time, he's cutting taxes. So your taxes, if you're making under 200, the dream would be if you're making under 200,000, you pay no tax.
Zero. Oh my God. Could you imagine?
I think we paid, how much did we pay this year?
Oh, too much.
How much came out of your check? 18 or something?
I don't remember, but with the way that new W4, is it the W4? They changed it in 2020. So it takes out like 10% or something like that. So I have to have them withhold extra. So I just basically guessed, like withhold an extra X amount per pay period. And it's been working, except this year we had some extra income. I don't know. And so we ended up paying, and I hate that. I think this is like the first time we had to pay as much as we did. We usually get a little bit back.
Yeah, we had to pay because I made some money accidentally with some crypto. One of my cryptos kind of went XRP. I had a bunch of XRP, and XRP went to like 275 or something like that. And I sold it all for like 15 grand. I think I had.
Yeah, right mid-December.
Huh?
So it was like mid-December. And so we had to pay taxes on all that.
Yeah.
So that bumped us up. But yeah, I mean, he talked about no tax on tips, which really is important. And
Country Life of Chicken Lady. Discovered
Hey, Country Life with
Dolly.
Chicken Lady.
Like what I heard, first time chatter. Well, it's good to see you, the Country Life with Chicken Lady. Tell us what you do. Country Life with Chicken Lady.
I think that's kind of explanatory.
You have eggs, so you must be rich.
Yeah, got eggs.
$15 a dozen.
Oh my goodness.
So what do you guys think about the
Oh, you got the
Deport-
doggo.
Huh?
Think about what?
Well, the dog was in here.
He was. Now he's with me. He wants dinner. He's been wanting dinner since 2:00. He's the
Dinner
worst.
doesn't happen right now.
Follows me all over the
All
house.
together in North Carolina.
Yeah, I agree, Angelina. This last round of Turtle Island was so
Yeah.
fun
I
with
found Truth.
discovering all these new channels. So
Truth,
super fun.
Illuminati. I never watched them before, so I've been watching them a little bit. And then last night, Truth sent people to another channel. I went there. The Innocence of something. I can't remember the channel, but she was good. She was watching Bullhorn Betty. I had to leave after a while because I can't handle that voice for very long.
Oh my goodness. Cannot. We
And I
met
can tell you-
her. So every year we go down to the Florida Keys and we're going soon. So I'm super excited. And she must live in Florida somewhere. So she came down and met with us for a couple of hours. And
I don't think it was even that long, was it?
I've been in dentistry for 25 years and you don't really think about it, but it's done some damage to my hearing. I mean, it's so loud in the dental office all the time. And so I'm super sensitive to like high pitch noises, like electric guitar,
Yeah.
talking voices that are really loud. Like it physically hurts my ears to be around that. And it was so difficult to sit next to her and listen to her talk for 2 hours. And I couldn't walk away. I couldn't put earplugs in, like, oh my God. So I can't with the voice. She was super nice. I mean, and this was like 5 years ago before all the BS went down. Really nice lady, but the voice can't do it.
Yeah. Right
So
before she sued Queen Bee, I believe.
I'm
Because
sorry.
I was
Oh
proofreading.
yeah.
Remember?
Yes.
Yeah.
And who knows what even happened with that?
I don't
know.
I don't pay attention to that stuff. Too busy doing other stuff. Angelique Words. Good to see
Hello,
you.
Angelique Edwards. Thank you for coming. We're just kind
Yeah,
of.
I haven't been on here for a while.
It's been a long time. It's been like
I gotta
6
start
months.
doing this more often. What do you guys think about these deportations?
Ooh.
Now the Supreme Court has said that every deportation person has to have a 21-day notice and like a hearing and all this crap.
Are you kidding?
I'm not
That
kidding.
defeats the entire purpose.
Yeah. Obama deported 5 million people. Nobody complained about it. Now Trump's trying to deport gang members and criminals and foreign terrorists, and they're like having a tizzy fit. And now they want to protect MS-13. That's how effing stupid they are. It's unbelievable. So let's just imagine you came here under maybe Obama or Biden. They let you in, they gave you a phone, they gave you a hotel room, they paid your way, gave you free medical, flew you to Chicago, whatever. Then you're in a 5-star
Nice
hotel. It's been taken over for, you know what I'm saying? 5-star hotel for free. And then you get a job. You end up meeting somebody, whatever. You have kids. You've been here for 5 years. Everything is fine. Now, all of a sudden, that's right, Hawkeye 3. All of a sudden now, you are an illegal alien. You know, you came here illegally. even though they invited you and paid it for you to do it, you still broke the law. It's because they weren't enforcing the law didn't mean you weren't breaking the law. Now that someone wants to follow the law, everybody's having a shit fit because they want to ignore the law. The law has not been changed. The law has been the same under all these administrations. In the Bush years, they deported like 10, one of them deported like 10 million people because they come over illegal all the time. You have to round them up and send them back. So,
I mean, no other country is like this.
I know.
You can't just you can't just pick a country and just go move there without a bunch of BS. I mean,
yeah,
this just doesn't happen anywhere else. And I don't get it. I mean, I can see on a personal level, especially little kids, you came here illegally, you get married, you have a family, and then everybody gets deported. And it's like, oh, but those poor kids. Yeah, those poor kids. I agree. But
they just go with the mother back to Mexico.
They came here illegally, period.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It sucks, but hey, Biden broke the law. He committed treason, in my opinion, by just opening the border. And the border czar, freaking Kamala Harris, the border czar, who
never went to the border. Oh my God.
Somebody asked her, have you ever been to the border? She's like, well, I've never been to Europe. You're not the Europe czar. You're the border czar.
Never even went to Texas.
Oh my God, Angelina.
What'd she say?
Rachel Morin was killed.
Really?
Jogging.
Did they? So they caught the guy.
Yeah, illegally.
Do you know, did he get sentenced? Do you know?
Angelina, do you know anything about what happened with her killer? Yeah.
Hi, Hawkeye 3. Thanks for coming.
Yeah, it's like all this crime's happening. Crime is just horrendous. And his trial was just wrapped up a few weeks ago. What happened? Did he get life or did he get some kind of special deal? They should put him in Guantanamo.
Was he a citizen? I don't remember.
No.
So then we're gonna pay for him to stay in our jails. It's costing taxpayer money, his trial, and housing him essentially and feeding him for the rest of his life.
Yeah, so we're spending billions upon billions upon billions upon billions upon billions and billions.
And he murdered someone.
Not only, we're just spending way too much money. And then now he was found guilty in murder from his
country. So he was found guilty. Good.
Yeah.
I can't imagine that turning out any other way, but
it's like now they're trying to stop Trump from deporting criminals. That's clearly against the law. It's clearly have been done for years. Now all of a sudden it's bad. I don't get it. Alcatraz would be cool.
Yeah, that's
tax money.
2 hours from us.
Yeah.
Oh, I went and visited and got so sick on the ferry. Really rough waters out there. That place is crazy.
Like? Have you been? You been there? What's it like there?
Cold and damp. It was pretty run down. This was a really long time ago too. But yeah, you take a ferry out to Alcatraz. They have a swim.
Bogey Green Street.
Hey, Bogey. Oh, hey, Fuzzy Bedhead.
Fuzzy Bedhead.
Guys.
You're 25. What is up? In Bogey. It's good to see you guys. So, yeah, Alcatraz is cold and wet, just like San Francisco is.
Yeah.
Now San Francisco is a shithole.
Which is really too bad because it's the only like major city in this area that has a lot of culture, a lot of great restaurants. I mean, a lot of great sightseeing. It's a beautiful city. And it's really cool, you know, place to visit, lots of tourism, but the homeless situation and the drug addicts and it's so horrible that nobody wants to go there anymore. And it's really dangerous. And I mean, what the hell is happening in being a sanctuary city? Like,
you came with me up there when I had the patent auction, and then when
yes, yeah.
Did you ever come next to Twitter when we were at our building there for the company?
No, I did not.
I was vice president of an intellectual property company, and it was right next to Twitter. Yeah, especially at night. What a shithole. It's just these policies, man. It's just like, I don't get it. They listen to this propaganda so long that they actually believe it.
Well, I don't understand. I mean, my girlfriends, we've all been friends since grade school. And some of my friends are highly educated, you know, architects, lawyers, and they all believe it too. And it's like, did you not witness and live through the shit show that was 2020? Like, how can you look around and look at our past president and think that he knows what he's doing and knows what he's saying? Like, people were so distraught that he lost. And it's like, our country, I mean, it was the worst it's ever been. You know, we're Gen X, we're in our 50s, and we grew up in the 80s when things were great and the economy was fantastic and we've all done relatively well. And it's like, how can you think that what was happening 5 years ago was sustainable for everybody, and the inflation? And I mean, especially here in California, it has gotten really, really bad. In the town that I grew up in used to be a quiet little coastal college town. And there was an ordinance back in the day, no two-story buildings. So it was this quaint little town.
San Diego?
This is Santa Cruz, honey.
Oh.
No billboards, no two-story buildings. I mean, and now they're building all these ugly high rises for housing. I mean, the city is so crowded as it is. And it's like they're building these apartment complexes that there's no parking. There's nowhere.
Underground parking? No.
I doubt it. I doubt they can do that, being that we're earthquakes.
You have to check it out one day.
I don't know.
I haven't been for a while.
I was just checking out. Right, Angelina, are you better off after these 4 years? No, nobody's better off after these 4 years. And so you wanted 4 more years of it?
What we got in the CVID scenario was purposeful. That was to screw Trump and the whole world. You know what I'm saying? That was, right before that, what's his name? Fauci, he's the one that came on and said, we are going to have a pandemic in upcoming. He said that because he knew about it and he knew what was going to happen. He created it. And now I hope they freaking string his ass up. Fucking asshole.
I don't know if...
They even had people ratting on each other. They had people, broken relationships. All these people died. And now you got all these people who still, don't talk to their parents or whatever, because one believes and one doesn't. It's ridiculous. Yeah. I remember the days when people with differing ideas could discuss things with one another without going psycho and not talking to each other and not being friends.
Right. Friendships ending over politics or medicine
Beliefs, yeah.
was not a thing.
Yeah, it was never
Even
a
10
thing.
years ago, it was just not a thing. And now, yeah, I mean, we have to watch what we say here, but
The country life, chicken lady, I like her more and more. The more
she's
she talks.
homesteader.
She's a homesteader.
Homesteader.
And
Mab
in
wants to be a
America.
homesteader, but I'm too much of a princess. I don't think I could do it.
Yeah.
I'm too
And
girly.
I think I was probably one of the last of my generation to be able to buy a house. I mean, I bought my house in 2000, so how old was I?
40?
30 something. 40 would have been 22 years ago. So I was 37 when I bought this house. And you'd think it'd be worth more than it is now.
You think it'd be worth more? Is that what you said?
Yeah, and I mean, really. Well, given the amount of time, I've seen it go up a lot faster.
Well, we're also in a rural area, so it's
Rural?
not a rural area.
Why are so many people can't say rural?
Rural.
You too, she wolf.
Same, she wolf.
Everything
Yeah,
will
my
be fine.
freaking boss made fun of me the other day about liking Trump, and I just
Really? That's
yeah,
hilarious.
he made some comment about how I'm a Trump supporter, and I just like completely ignored him and kept doing what I was doing and just let it slide because I am definitely the minority at my office and in my area. Yeah.
What a bunch of
I was
freaking
surprised.
idiots. They're having a little protest down in this little town that we live in today. And they have their little signs that say, what do they say?
I didn't see him. Yeah, there's like 2,000 people
Well, I
here.
saw it on Next Door Romans. They were saying, coming down with their sign that says due process. Honk if you blah, blah, blah. And they were going back and forth.
Good Lord.
Like, that's going to make a damn bit of difference.
Why should they have due process? They are criminals.
Yeah, they're criminals.
I mean, yes, innocent until proven guilty. But if you are here and you're not a citizen, sorry.
You don't have the same rights as a U.S. citizen, period. You don't have constitutional rights. You are not a citizen of the United States. The Constitution is for citizens, not somebody from a foreign country that sneaks into your fucking country and then all of a sudden goes, hey, I'm here. Give me stuff. Fuck that shit. Bunch of bullshit. You had a bunch of idiots in your town, Angelina, with their signs.
Yeah. Yep.
Bunch of freaks. They listen to MSNBC and CNN and ABC and CBS, and they watch that shit and they believe it. And every single thing is made up. Trump was the only one at the Pope's funeral that was wearing a blue suit. They cropped the photo, so it was like 4 guys in a black suit and Trump. Then you look at the big photo and there's like all these other blue suits. Like, come on, man.
Well, Zelensky wore sweatpants, right?
We support veterans, not billionaires.
Yeah. Say it louder for the people in the back.
Are you talking about Afghanistan, Angelina? Yeah. You know what? I think, hey, Sierra. What's up?
Sierra.
Oh, shit. There. Oh, yeah. Elon Musk. He must be a freaking patriot because what billionaire with a boring tunnel company, freaking rocket SpaceX company, and the biggest electric car company on the planet stop what he's doing, volunteer his time to get his tech guys together and take on the task of rooting out all this freaking waste, fraud, and abuse in our government. We should be thanking Elon Musk.
I know. I don't understand why people are so upset about
Because
him.
we stole their stolen money. That's why. Because we found out how they were laundering money to line their own fucking pockets. And we found out about it and took the money away. We stole their stolen money. That's why they're upset. The people that are screaming the loudest were getting the most of the money out of it. That's got to be it. And I think you're going to see something in the next 2 or 3 weeks that's going to be like bombshellish about corruption. And I think there's going to be some politicians go down.
Hope so.
Yeah, I hope so. John O'Keefe is coming out with something in the next 2 weeks. He went dark. He had one video and it said, I'm not suicidal. My thing's coming out in 2 weeks and I'm going dark. And that was it. So he just exposed a guy from the Pentagon for being a traitor and a treason guy that said he was going to try to thwart Pete Hegseth, part of the Pentagon. He's since been fired. John O'Keefe got some good-looking chicks, went out to lunch with the guy, and the guy starts spilling his beans, right, on video, hidden camera. He's good at that. So John O'Keefe's got something big coming up. I wonder what it is. It's going to be pretty big. Some big name is going to be on video, breaking the law. It's going to go down. Yeah. The Democrats got really talented, awesome, smart people like AOC and Jasmine Crockett, the two superstars of the Democratic Party. I hope one of them runs for president. I hope it's Jasmine Crockett. That would be worse than Kamala Harris. Because AOC would probably be better than Jasmine Crockett or Kamala Harris. She's probably smarter. Yeah, a bunch of winners. Yeah, Hawkeye, it's been 100 days. Pam and Cash need to come up with something, but they got to make it stick. So you got to give them a little bit more time. Good. I hope she goes after Jasmine Crockett and Dick Fanny Willis. Badass Fanny. She's in for mortgage fraud. She was saying that on her application for mortgages on like vacation properties, she said it was her primary residence on the application when it wasn't. So that's mortgage fraud right there.
Ooh.
Bust them. Lock them up.
No bueno.
Yeah. What do you think about this Abrego Garcia, is that his name? The wholesome Maryland father who was out mowing his lawn one day. And the ICE people came and tackled him and deported him mistakenly after he had 3 deportation orders. Got busted for beating his wife twice. Got pulled over as a trafficking humans.
Oh.
And an illegal alien from El Salvador. So we got deported. Now they want him back. Supreme Court. Supreme Court says, Trump, you need to facilitate his return. Hey, jet lag, how's it going, man?
Hey, jet lag. Good to see you.
Supreme Court says Trump is to facilitate the return of Abrego Garcia. Well, I don't know how smart the Supreme Court is. I'd imagine you have to be pretty intelligent to be a Supreme Court justice. Just saying. If you're that stupid that you think the Supreme Court of the United States can dictate foreign policy to another country,
right?
You're out of your freaking mind. You're an idiot.
Because they want to keep him, right? Because he's a criminal there.
No, they want to stop Trump from deporting people. Because what they want to do, I think what they're trying to do, because I know they're not getting the voters they want by importing people from South America, because they're family people, number one. They don't go for the trans stuff. They don't go for the woke stuff. They don't go for the DEI crap or any of that. And they end up voting with us because once they're here, they don't want more people coming and screwing up their deal, right?
Right.
I think they're trying to build their census base so that they can have more House of Representatives and the Senate, senators, House of Reps. So if they have more in their census, they get more representatives. I think that must be it, because they're not getting it thinking they're going to all vote Democrat. Because number one, you ain't voting if you're not a citizen for a federal election.
Except they are.
Damn well better not be. They used to ask for my ID when I voted. Remember?
Yeah, I always vote by mail because I'm always working. So I just do it by mail and I prefer it that way and never had an issue, but you just don't actually know if it's counted, you know.
You can go and send an email to find out if your vote's counted.
Yeah, you can go online, but
they used to ask me for my ID to make sure I was who I was supposed to be before I voted, and I was on the voter roll as well. Now in California, it's illegal to ask for ID for a voter. So now we have,
which is insane.
Citizens of another country. We have citizens of another country voting in our elections in California. Yes, jet lag. Voter base, but more importantly, census base and redistricting. My face is still numb, so.
Hi, Shauna. It's okay.
Shauna! My dear Shauna. I love Shauna. 51 minutes late to my first MAB live stream.
That's okay. You're here now. We still have more to talk about.
What was I just talking about? I like going to the chat.
Vote
in our election. What the hell are we letting foreigners, non-citizens, vote in our elections for?
Because they think they're going to vote Democrat.
You're going to let another country decide what happens and who is the leader of our country? Does that make any freaking sense at all? Hell no. I don't understand either, Deborah. They're a bunch of idiots. The Democratic Party has gotten so bad, it's the worst I've ever seen it. And I've been around a little bit. They used to be, and I don't consider myself like a far right-wing guy. No. But I'm just a common sense guy. Because the Democrats used to be for a lot of the same things I believe in the old days.
Yeah. Like they were
Kennedy, you know. And I thought Clinton was an idiot.
And, you know, a lot of the Democrats are the ones that came up with all of the social services that we have. And I think that those are great.
Yeah.
And they are needed. And in fact, we probably need more.
I need more.
I just think the vetting process is kind of weird. And
just chilling. You're right.
Yeah, old day Democrat ideas are gone because back in the day they used to be really good, really good
Sean,
ideas, some
let
really
it
good
fly,
policies.
Sean, let it fly.
You're
Yes,
already fired
you're
up today.
right.
That's okay. Be
Like if
fired
I
up.
wore a MAGA hat in California, I would be in a
Oh,
fist fight probably during the day. And I carry, so if somebody attacked me, they might not make it out. Hippie parents. That's right. It's not Kennedy's party anymore. It's some other freaky cult.
yeah. Yeah, my mom was a hippie too, but she was conservative because she cared about her money.
She has money.
Yeah.
Once you get money, you become. That's funny that I've seen a lot of Democrats become conservative after they make money, buy a house, and all that stuff. And they start paying for everybody else's shit instead of receiving the money, right?
Just chilling. Hey, just chilling.
Just chilling.
Just chilling.
Just chilling like a couple of villains. What else is going on in the world? Minerals deal. We've signed a minerals deal with Ukraine. Let's talk about Ukraine for a second. Who do you think in the chat started the war? Who's responsible for the war, for the beginning, the cause of the war in Ukraine? Who's responsible for that? I wonder what the chat thinks. Who's responsible for that Ukraine war starting? Do we have a taker?
So Angelina says, have you heard of Oreo Express? Have not, but maybe we'll check them out.
Live streamer from Fresno.
Huh.
Not
So
Zelensky.
Chicken Lady says Zelensky. Angelina
Yeah,
says the
Obama,
Clintons. Jet Lag
Clinton.
says Obama.
I'd say the United States in general and the UN, because the UN promised and signed a bunch of agreements with the Soviet Union, later became Russia, to never have more countries go towards Russia in the UN, United Nations. So since World War II, there wasn't supposed to be any more countries in the UN east of Russia, east of Germany. And then they broke that and added a bunch of countries, and they said, okay, nobody's going to go east of these countries. Signed that agreement. And then they broke that and added a bunch more countries east towards Russia. And then when they got to Ukraine, Russia said, that's enough. They got to do something. It's just like if somebody put missiles in Cuba, like the Cuban Missile Crisis, that's when we blockaded the Soviet Union because they were putting missiles in Cuba that could strike the United States. So we did the blockade and everything and got rid of them. So it's just like that. Russia had no choice but to invade
Ukraine
because we pushed them into it. So they had to. But we shouldn't have let them take Crimea or the Donbass. But Donbass was already a Russian speaking place anyway. The Crimea, they never should have let them have it because it's a port, deep water port, and it's important port. Idiots. But off the coast of Ukraine, there's a big, giant, huge gas field. I forget the name of it. There's like trillions of dollars worth of natural gas in it. And like 5 different countries have a claim to it. I think one of them is Ukraine.
Is
I
that
may be wrong.
the oil fields in the sea?
It's in the ocean, yeah.
Yeah.
She-Wolf. We're doing well. Yeah,
So,
Jet lag, you're right.
What jet lag say?
I mean, they did it in Ukraine. They kicked out the democratically elected president of Ukraine. They did a coup on him. And that's what USAID did a lot of, was coups. They had laundered money from the CIA so they could do coups around the world. CIA's got their little freaking hands in everything.
You mean USAID wasn't for drag parties in
For
Colombia?
that too.
And oh,
Condoms in Somalia,
and
condoms in
book
China.
fairs and
Little condoms in China,
oh,
teeny condoms,
kitty condoms.
Chinese condoms, pinky condoms.
Oh my goodness.
Well, Ukraine's not getting Crimea or the Donbass, and I think they're going to lose a little bit more property than that in country life. They're going to have to draw the line somewhere around where they are now. That's usually how it works. I mean, they got sex changes on frogs. That like says, how many billions did we spend on that? Masturbating monkeys. What was it? Transgender mice. They did actually spend money on that. They made Minnie into Mickey, or Mickey into Minnie, one of the two.
Oh my God, those poor mice. That's not okay. So I'm going to go off topic.
Sweet, Shauna.
I
want to hear from Shauna.
I want to talk about, this is way off topic, but it's something that has been happening in dentistry. So.
Oh.
Yeah.
Let's go straight to dentistry. That'll be exciting.
Let's, because I can't really communicate with all this political stuff, but I can talk about dentistry. So, and this may not apply to any. This may not apply to any of you here, but.
Blind.
So when you go get your teeth cleaned, you're most likely and hopefully getting your teeth cleaned by a dental hygienist. So that's what I do.
Oh, it's about somebody making assistants able to clean teeth.
Right. So after 2020, a lot of hygienists just never came back to work. They didn't want to deal with it. Dentists can be very difficult to work for. There's a lot of really shitty offices. There's a lot of stuff that just, I mean, nurses, same thing with nursing, same thing with any medical field. And so for a while, there was a shortage of hygienists. So our wages went way up, which is awesome. But doctors don't like paying us that much, even though we produce really well for the office. So what they decided to do, and this is in Illinois, and this is in Kansas, and it just passed a bill in Arizona. So if you guys live in those 3 states, they have made it legal for dental assistants to do very basic cleanings.
They're not trained for that, right?
What?
Are they trained for it?
They get 140 hours of training. Whereas, and to be a dental assistant, you basically have to be a high school graduate and then take a 9-month course and pass a state board exam. So you are licensed.
To do assisting, but assisting.
To do assisting. And I am not knocking assistants. I mean, assistants are very necessary. They're very good at their jobs. I was an assistant, but I worked for an oral surgeon, so it was really, really different. And I don't have general dental assisting skills. Like, that's a whole other animal. I'm licensed to do it. I don't know how to do what they do. I went to school for that, but I practiced for a surgeon, so I didn't do general dentistry. It's really different. And so, but to do dental hygiene, it's basically a 4-year degree program. and we spend about 3,000 hours honing our craft, and we take 3 different boards to get our license. And it's a lot. It's a lot. And so we're highly skilled in what we do in disease prevention. And so they're turning around and saying, well, we have a shortage of dental hygienists and we have an issue with access to care, which not really true. So we're going to give dental assistants the opportunity to train for 140 hours. And now they can do very basic cleanings under, they call it direct supervision. So legally what that means is the dentist is standing right over them and watching what they do.
Well, they're not going to ever have that because the dentist isn't going to spend his time doing that.
Well, the thing is
or are they going to try to not pay a hygienist and just pay a?
So they're going to do that. But yeah, there is no way to have direct supervision, but there is also nobody to monitor this. There aren't people coming to the dental office watching the dentist supervise us. And so they're going to pay.
Says, do you have to keep up with, you have to keep up your license with continuing.
Yeah, we have continuing education, and so do dental assistants. And so what's going to happen is people are going to go in assuming that a dental hygienist is cleaning their teeth, and it's not going to be a dental hygienist maybe in these states, and you're going to get a shitty job done. And so my public service message to everybody, if you live in those states, is, so it just passed in Arizona, so we're probably not going to see it for about a year, but it's been a law in Illinois and Kansas for a while that if you go and get your teeth cleaned, ask for their credentials. Make sure that a dental hygienist is the one that's actually cleaning your teeth. Don't let a dentist do it either. Dentists have less training than we do for cleaning your teeth unless they're a periodontist, a gum specialist. Then they do a good job. But a general dentist doesn't know how to do a good job like we do. That's not what they went to school for. They get like 2 weeks of learning about dental hygiene, whereas we get 2 years. So, you know, right. Most people aren't thinking about it. And the other thing is, if you have kids and you take them to a pediatric office, most pediatric offices don't have hygienists because we're too expensive and insurance pays really low. And so they have their assistants polish. So when your kiddos go in and they're 2 and 3 and 4 years old, a polish might be sufficient. But as they're 10, 11, 12, and they have all their permanent teeth, they need a regular cleaning. And your pediatric office is not going to do that. And so get them out of there and take them to a general dentist that has a hygienist that can clean their teeth properly. Otherwise, we're going to see a lot of disease coming up. Gum disease, which is asymptomatic, so you don't know you have it until someone tells you you do. And so, you know, Arizona hygienists are screaming about it. And then the other side is assistants aren't going to want to do the extra work. Like, they're busy enough assisting the dentist. They're not going to want to clean teeth and not make hygiene wages. Like, we make double what an assistant makes. They're not going to do it.
I look really white and pale compared to Mrs. MAB. Look how dark and tan she looks. Is it the light or what?
I think it's the lighting.
They don't look pale in real life.
You don't look pale in real life. I do definitely look a different color out here. I don't know. I have all the lights off because it's really glary with the lights on. So maybe that's part of it. If I had all the lights on, I might look more washed out. I don't know.
There.
Right, Angelina, right. Because we carry liability insurance and these assistants don't. They're covered under the dentist.
I just turned on touch up. Does that help?
Yeah, you look a little smoother, but you still look kind of pale and ruddy at the same time.
Yeah, like I'm an alcoholic or something.
Yeah, because you haven't had a drink in what, 10 years?
Huh? I haven't had a drink in 10 years.
Yeah. So with respect to signing off on those hours, Angelina, I don't know if they go to a training center. They probably have to go to some kind of training center and pay for it because everything's expensive. But the dentists are behind it. And the real issue comes down to the insurance pays shitty. The insurance payment, like you think about, if you have dental insurance, your annual max is $1,000 to $2,000 a year. That was the annual maximum back in 1970, except our prices have probably gone up 5 to 10-fold since 1970. And the insurance isn't really paying any more than they did in 1970. So dentists can't get by on just insurance reimbursement. So what are they going to do to make more money? They're going to pay people less, and they're going to make us do more work in less amount of time, unless you just go fee for service. So basically you don't take insurance and people pay cash, which is what my office does. And I work for a fabulous dentist, and he does amazing work. And plus it's a really affluent area. So we don't really have an issue. I'm booked out 6 months. Like, I feel guilty going on vacation because there's nowhere to put patients.
How many PTO days do you got?
I have almost a month.
We should go somewhere.
We are.
No, I mean somewhere nice.
Key West isn't nice.
Not after 5 or 6 times.
Well, we're still
It's nice, but it's hot. Hotter than I prefer.
Honey,
it's
every
nice.
year you do this, and then we get there and you're like, oh, this is so great. I don't want to go home.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Plus,
I
you
want to
got
go
your
fishing this time again and have fresh fish.
and your key lime pie. He buys a whole pie and just like eats it with a
them.
fork.
Key lime pies are awesome.
I did earn that leave.
Yeah,
Well,
we need
thing
to
is-
like. I want to start going camping or something, or do something fun. You know, take my, do something. The whole
What did I tell you?
What
What did I tell you when we met about camping?
No, that was then. This is now.
Me,
We
no
can glam.
camp.
We can
No
glam.
camping.
Glam.
Right. An
Glamping.
RV would be cool, but I'm not setting up a tent and sleeping on the ground. I'm sorry.
Shauna says she's going through something with her dental right now. Dental coverage.
Dental coverage. I have great insurance, but dental coverage, it's always horrible unless you work for.
Really give you like one cleaning a year or something?
No, you get 2, but most people need more. And they cover 50% of a crown, and a crown is like $2,000. And so if you need 1 crown, you've eaten up all of your insurance and you've paid $1,000 out of pocket, and now you have nothing left for the rest of the year. I mean, it's really ridiculous. Your annual max should be more like $5,000 to $7,000. Like $1,000 or $2,000 is nothing anymore. And it's the insurance companies, because there's no regulation. They can do what they want, and they haven't changed a thing in 50 years. And so many dentists are just going out of network. They're like, we're not going to take this reimbursement. It's not enough.
Where's Lucas?
And he's here sleeping.
I want to show Shauna Lucas.
You own a pet grooming salon.
Yeah.
Oh, we have a doggo and a kitty.
Oh, boy.
Oh, you're going to meet the dog. Oh, poor Doodle. He can barely get up. He's 13. He's a big boy. There's our boy. This is Lucas. You can barely see him. Turn the, yeah. Down. There you go. This is Lucas. He's our rescue boy. He's crotch dog. He loves to put his head in between Mab's legs. Crotch dog.
He's sneezing again.
He's He's been sneezing all weekend. Poor guy. I wonder if he's got something like something up his nose.
Yeah, I wonder what that is. Now my camera's all screwed up.
He's gonna want to eat soon. Oh, it's past dinner time.
Keep talking and I'll feed him.
He's a lab mix. He was a rescue, so we don't know exactly what he is. But he's definitely mostly lab. He's 13. He's about 85 pounds. His hips are given out. So, but he's got really, really high liver enzymes. So we can't, the vet doesn't want to give him anti-inflammatories. You're going to feed him?
Yeah.
Okay. And so we give him glucosamine and really good food. And we'll know when it's time to let him go.
No.
I know, but and then we have a black house panther, who is a little camera shy. He's the best. So when I met Mab, he was not a cat person. I don't think he ever had a cat, and he didn't know what cats normally are like. So we got Bella, and Bella was a beautiful,
stinky, rotten, infested, flea-infested, whatever came out of her ass that one time. Piece of freaking floss or something.
She had gum disease, so she ended up losing most of her teeth. But when she was a kitten, oh God, her breath smelled like rotten fish. But
she was infested, she stank, she had all kinds of stomach issues.
That was when she was a kitten.
Feral kitty.
Anyway.
She was a feral.
She was,
feral.
Be quiet.
Excuse me? Don't get me started, woman.
She
Don't make me do it again.
Those of you who are cat people sort of know the joke about having an orange kitty. They have one collective brain cell, and that was Bella. And she was really clumsy, and we had her for 11 years. And so Mab thought that that's what cats are like. And then she passed, and we got George, who's also a rescue. He's a bottle baby, black, little fluffy guy. And he is a normal cat. He's smart, he's graceful, he's super snuggly and cute. Yeah, he's really heavy on his feet, man. And the first time, oh, is he here? The first time he jumped up on the counter, here's Joe Bear. Here's my boy. Oh, isn't he the best? He's the best.
Yeah.
You just come up like this.
Shauna, Lucas, yeah, we do take good care of him. We're in California, and
Lucas' little toe sticks out when I pick him up like this.
Oh, you didn't put Lucas's food down. Oh God, dude, I'm sorry, Bubba. You're waiting for your dinner. I got from you, Bubba.
You got nobody now. Oh. Back. Elevated truth. What's going on? One of my 15 peeps. What are you up to, brother? Come up and chat. I'll drop you a link. Let me know if you want to. You got all rescues too. Cool, Truth.
All right.
I just got one too before the stream. I washed my truck today for the first time in 25 years.
Oh, elevated truth. Hey, brother. What's going on?
My truck had like moss and
I wish we had a picture.
we do.
We called it our patina. There was literally like blooms of moss growing all over the hood of this truck. But it's an 82, so that kind of makes sense. And for the first time ever, we've been married 15 years, he pressure washed the truck and it's like white underneath. It's crazy. It looks so different.
Is my phone up there?
I have your phone.
Oh, you're on the. Send me that. Look for the video I took the truck.
Oh, Elevated says drop a link and he'll jump up.
All right.
You want me to look for your photos? Okay, hold on. Oh, you have a video of it.
Yeah.
It's kind of. It's hard to see. Let me do this.
Send me the video on a. You could send me the video in a text.
Okay, hold on.
What kind of dog's Truth got? Oh, there he is.
What's going on, folks? How are y'all?
We got a sexy voice up here.
Listen, I had to go get me a shower and clean. Now I feel like I've had my shower for the month, and you know, I don't have any worries. I can be dirty again. Almost went and rolled around in the yard just to feel like my dogs feel after we give them a bath. You know, just see if it's the same.
Just run on your back for a while.
Roll in the dirt.
Yeah, just roll around and kind of get dirty again. You know.
I pressure washed my truck because I haven't washed it in like 25 years.
I don't know how to send this to you on your own phone.
You know, that's probably not good for the value of the truck. I mean, I'm not a truck value expert, but
it's not. It's probably not that valuable. It's an 82 F350 dump truck.
actually, that's probably sitting at about 55 to 6,500 right now.
If it was fixed
that thing is invaluable.
They don't make trucks like that no more. Yeah,
it's really, really nice.
And it carries a lot of weight.
You say it's a dump truck?
Yeah.
Oh shit! I can actually ride around in it then.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? I can fit in the back.
Oh
yeah, you can fit.
20 people could fit.
3 yards up there.
No, can we turn the back of your dump truck into a swimming pool and drive around town?
Sure.
Like I'm redneck like that. I don't know if y'all have rednecks in California or California, but
hey,
you know, down here in the South, in America, you know, we have those things.
We're a little redneck myself, actually.
Yeah. Do you live in the good weed part of California or like the crazy commie steal everything California?
We live
the good weed is like 4 hours north of us in Humboldt.
Okay.
We're in.
My nephew Aaron B lives in Humboldt.
I'm gonna need you to holler at your uncle or your cousin, whatever you just said, and tell him I'm gonna need a couple elbows just sent on down here. You know what I mean? Just sent to me legally, of course.
His sister.
I stopped smoking. Like my sister's a grower, and she gave me a bunch.
Whole elaborate thing set up to be able to send it out because it's can't do that, and she had this whole thing worked out.
Allegedly and hypothetically, okay, is what she's talking about. Not actually, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, this is all fair, fun play.
But we are. You've heard of San Francisco?
Yeah, of course.
We're 2 hours south of San Francisco.
Didn't they do something new in San Francisco recently? They took the sirens out of the police cars and put little gay guys on top going woo 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 going through the city. That's what I had heard. I wasn't sure.
It would not surprise me.
Their shoes from stepping in human shit and needles.
We were talking about that earlier. It is so gross there now. It used to be such a beautiful city. They have a dental convention every year up there, and I used to go every year, and I'm not going up there anymore.
Speaking of dental convention, we're working on it. I'm going to Mexico and having my whole mouth done. I being a former drug addict, it does create issues to the jaw and the gum line and things like that. Like my teeth are not anywhere near as bad as like some former addicts have.
So
But
you
unfortunately,
were you a mathematician?
yes, I was a mathematician. Yes. Anything that made me go fast, it was my choice. And anything that would put me down for a couple hours after 5 or 6 days up was my choice.
Well,
So
I did that for a little while.
So a lot of the Mexican dentists are really good because they
Yeah.
study in the States. You just
Mhm.
have to do your research.
yeah,
And
so
probably-
Tijuana has this area called dental something. It's literally nothing but dental clinics. And I'm lucky enough that we have some people in the family that are doctors. And one of them studied in Mexico, got his doctorate in Mexico, and then got his doctorate in the United States. And they have a clinic right across the border. And what most people don't understand is that they are American owned, American run for the most part. It's just they eliminate all of the bureaucratic bullshit and all of the insurance bullshit. So
Yeah.
to get my whole mouth done with 6 posts, 3 on top, 3 on bottom. I'm sorry, 8 posts, 4 on top, 4 on bottom is $20K. In the US, it's about $80K.
So are you getting implants?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm hoping that they're not going to have to graft the gums. Or is that what it's called?
The
Grafting?
bone.
Where,
Bone
yeah, the
Yeah.
bone.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, see, when I was dude, I was young. I was still in my teens. I got my entire side of my face shattered, my orbital bone, my jaw all the way across. And so I had issues from like it's separated right here in the front completely. Looked like I was missing a tooth, cracked and separated the size of a tooth. And my dumb ass didn't get it fixed for a few days. But yeah, so I'm ready to get it done. There's nothing worse in this world than teeth pain. You know what I mean?
Are
Oh my
you
God.
are you missing those teeth in the back?
Mhm.
How long have you been missing them?
A while.
Wow. So
grown in,
they need
yeah. Whole-
a 3D image. So they should take a CT
Mhm.
and that way they can determine the bone levels. And I would think you would, especially on top.
Yeah. So the top is moved up pretty high. Now, here's the bad thing, if we want to be honest. So I had to pull some of my own teeth during that period, right? In the back, not these front ones, right?
Right.
So I was the guy, believe it or not, don't give a damn if you do, not y'all, but people don't care if they believe it or not, but literally took pliers, hooked it on there, the what do you call them? The lock
grips.
pliers.
Vice
Yeah,
grips.
vice grips. And just, you had no choice.
Right.
But I was so lost in my world as an addict. Like, there wasn't anything to me other than pretending I was sober, so no one knew that I was messed up.
Yeah.
Which I did for a very, very long time. I was a very functional addict
too.
for, and I made more money during that period than I had ever made because I was working around the clock. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I was functional too.
Well, you invent things, right?
I did.
Do you
I
think
did.
that is one of the reasons you may have used substances because your mind would work more than your hands could?
It was after that I invented stuff.
Right.
Well, I was the inventive type. I invented some stuff and built some stuff when I was using, but I didn't actually, because my dad was a patent agent. I started working at a patent agency. I was able to file my own patents, and my dad, for half of the value, he would do all the work to get the patent. And then I would spend money with him, and we just sign it to another S corp, and then I would.
I think something you might want to do is teach these folks about S corps. I've been spending some time teaching my folks and my people about S corps and LLCs and LLCing their names and them as a person and kind of going that route. But you want to start getting some people really listening to you, Mab. If you've got some knowledge on that, start teaching the folks about S corps and LLCs.
So you can expense all your stuff and.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, because every day. So here's the newest thing that I think is incredible that a lot of people just don't realize. So let's say you have a 9 to 5, right? You're getting a paycheck. If you LLC your name yourself, say MAB LLC, and your paycheck comes in MAB, then you deposit that directly into your LLC. then you pull it out the other side of your LLC as a payment out, like an expenditure, right? And now you have a consistent cash flow business, which is your name, with no additional business income or income or.
How are you paying yourself?
Well, you're gonna write a check from the company to yourself. So
Are you gonna
you could W-2 yourself. You could, or W-4 yourself.
Yeah.
I mean, you could 1099 yourself too, but you're not going to get the same tax base.
Gas, all my expenses, all my tools, all my everything is expensed.
Your house, especially if you're working out of your house is 75% now as an S corp as opposed to an LLC.
And so I lose money is what I want to do.
Oh, you want to lose it. Gotcha. I know what you're saying.
Yeah, you want to lose money, right? So you're in debt, right? So you didn't make anything.
Yeah, you can do that once every
$800 a year. And that's it.
Aren't you let's see, you're allowed one negative year every 3 years. Is that correct? Or have they changed that?
They changed it, I think, recently.
I know it used to be you could file once every 3 years on a straight loss, and then on the other 2 years you can have partial losses. Numbers to me, my autism, so to speak, is numbers based. So even though I'm numerically dyslexic, which is funny, numbers still make sense.
No, I'm numbers dyslexic.
Oh, are you?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's numerically dyslexic is interesting because if I'm trying to like transcribe numbers or look at a piece of paper and type in numbers, I'm going to F it up every time. But if I'm trying to figure out some type of equation, then to me, most of the time it's looking at it and it starts to put itself together for me. Does that make sense? Like in my head, I can see how everything kind of goes.
Yeah, I never had the brain for math, and I'm mildly dyslexic, so
I just do the math in my head.
You did meth in your head?
Yeah, math and meth.
Methany was a bad bitch, but she, she'll do you dirty.
Team Rose.
Team Rose is here, and Team King is here. And I can't. Okay. Sorry, guys. I didn't look at chat for a while.
We had a few roosters in here in the beginning.
Yeah, they actually are the reason why I remembered you were live. I was trying to take a bath and have my Zen time, and my phone kept going off. I'm like, what the hell is going on? And I looked and they're like, Mab's live. I'm like, y'all messed up my whole Zen moment to tell me Mab was live, and then I had to get out of the bath.
I love my bath time with my Epsom salts and my candles and shit.
Yep. I'm just like, people make fun of me all the time, Mab, because they're like, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm going to take a bath. They're like, you take a bath? I said, I didn't get a house with a massive jet bathtub for no reason.
Right. You want to,
I'm old.
Yeah, you soak your bones in that shit so you can move around.
Yep. I mean, I've had two complete knee surgeries. I'm looking at a double hip replacement and a knee replacement coming up. So, the pain is real. And being sober, Bubba, like I don't take pharmaceuticals. I don't take pain medications. I don't do any of that. So there are days where you're like, fuck, cut them off. Cut both legs off right at the hip joints. You know what I mean?
So how long were you doing this?
So the first time in my addiction was from approximately 16 years old. I got fully addicted while I was incarcerated, actually. So about 16 years old is when I'd say my addiction started. I started using drugs at 9 years old. Cocaine was the first drug I ever did when I was 9. And then I started smoking cannabis, right? And it was just more to kind of equal things out in my world, I didn't have parents per se. I didn't have like that whole environment until I was finally adopted. And even when I was adopted, I was the outcast because my adoptive father was a Church of Christ minister, so a cult leader. And my mother was an amazing woman, but she was also Church of Christ. So, she's very submissive to her husband and those types of things. And I didn't subscribe to that ideology, right? Like it just wasn't something that was for me at the time. And then I got sober when I was 25 years old. My ex-wife, I was living down in Florida, and I called her one night all messed up out of my mind. And for about 3 months, she called me every single day and said, I'm just letting you know that there's hope. Whenever you're ready, let me know. And she was in recovery. When we were married, she was an active addict. I was an active addict. And that's why we ended up getting divorced. And so long story short, I was sober for 10 years. I got my degree. I went into the field that I always wanted to be in. And I keep that off social media.
Okay. I'm sorry.
No, it's all right. But it was a, huh?
I think I know what it is, but I'm not.
Yeah, it was a career that you just don't want to mix the two things together. It just is what it is. But, then I went back into the music industry when I left my career, and I walked away from the career because of a case I was working. I'll put it that way. And it pretty much, it took the life out of my soul, and it was all I could take anymore. I also had a TBI in the process of all of this. And I was in a coma for quite some time. And when I came out of the coma, unfortunately, say that again?
Is that a car accident or something?
Traumatic brain injury.
Yeah.
No, it was an anoxic brain injury, to be exact. So you can call it a TBI, which anoxic brain injuries are TBIs, but it was let's just say it was chemically based.
All right.
Okay. And I overdosed. There you go. There it is. And it was a bad situation. And long story short, when I relapsed, I was active for another 3.5 years or so. 3 years, something like that. And I caught a case in another state. It was all simple, like personal possession, but it was just what it was. And for me, that's what woke me up. And I'll tell y'all what really, got me sober was being handcuffed in front of the police car, swarmed by law enforcement. And the guy looking at me and going, well, you're looking at 25 years to life. Congratulations. And I had to FaceTime my wife on the side of the road and tell her, listen, I'm going to jail. You know what I mean? And I don't know if I'm coming out. And it was one of these situations where she just, the sound in her voice, man, it was just that ultimate, you actually did it sound. You know what I mean? Like you actually just fucked yourself. And, by the grace of God, my wife stood by me, and we worked our way through the system. And the judge looked at my history and looked at my work career and looked at my just everything, and decided that I wasn't a lost cause, and that that going to prison wasn't going to fix what I was dealing with. Wow. And gave me an opportunity to prove that sobriety was the path I wanted to go on. Now, mind you, in the process of my trial being set up and being indicted and all of those things, I was going weekly and taking drug tests myself and paying for them and keeping a log. And this goes for anybody out there. If you ever get hit on like a drug case or something like that, go get drug tests yourself so that when you go in front of the judge, you can show, listen, I've been sober. And so at the end of the day, I was given a chance, and I was given an opportunity to live again and be human again. And I'm blessed that judge saw that in me, but it definitely was not an easy road. And still, sobriety is not easy. It's the worst fucking thing in the world. No one wants to do it. It's lonely as fuck. You lose all of your friends.
How many years you got?
I'm working on my 6th now. So I had 10 years my first time. And that was my biggest mistake, was I thought I had beat that shit.
Right.
You know what I mean? I thought I was the king, shit.
You start getting complacent, huh?
Oh, cocky and complacent, and they tell you in these rooms, the big book will tell you that cockiness will get you killed, and it will. Yeah. And, I don't subscribe to the program so much anymore. I'm more enlightened, I think, in my life now to understand that mind control is mind control, whether it's drugs or groups.
Same here.
And, You know, sometimes people become just as addicted to the coffee and the circle than they were to the drug.
Yeah, I knew some people when I was a secretary for like 6 months at this
Mhm.
DMV meeting, which was a big one.
Yeah.
Nobody wanted to be secretary, so I kept doing it month after
Well,
month. And
nobody
finally,
wants to control that money.
I shut the thing, or they shut it down. The DMV kicked us out in the end.
Really?
And we moved to a park. And,
Damn. Well, you know, the thing about sobriety, Bubba, is this is like, and I was really serious about what I said. I think people need to understand this. Sobriety sucks. It does. There's nothing about sobriety that's awesome other than you get your life back.
yeah,
That's it. And that's major. To me, that's enough to keep me sober, right? Like to me, that is everything I need to stay sober.
but
But
I'll
people
say
have,
it too, in those rooms, I saw pretty little girls, that would be there one day and they'd be dead the next day.
Mhm.
And there was
Yeah.
more than one of them
When I tell you, sorry, go ahead.
that I was friends with, that we had
Hmm.
a relationship with, and then it's just like bang.
Well, if I'd be lying to you if I told you that I haven't lost 75 people I knew or have known, you know, to overdoses and fentanyl specifically. It's why we push fuck fentanyl so much and fuck fentanyl dealers so much. It's why Jelly went to the nation's capital and helped push a fentanyl bill through that ultimately, will offer and suggest the death penalty for fentanyl dealers. Matter of fact, I think it was Missouri, if I'm not mistaken, just implemented its first death sentence on a fentanyl dealer.
Well,
So,
in my day, that stuff wasn't around yet.
no, it wasn't.
Maybe it was. It was 10 years ago.
Well, it was, but it wasn't. Listen, Bubba, I tell people this all the time. Drugs used to be fun. You could weekend warrior drugs and not worry about shit and go on with your life and be responsible, right? You
Yeah.
can't do that now. You can't play around and party, man. You will die.
It's too strong, man, these days.
There's a girl that lives up the street from us that OD'd
My
on
God, dog.
fentanyl. And luckily her sister was home and her sister was a nurse and gave her
Mhm.
CPR. And we're
This
rural, so it took
feels
a
like
while
daughter
for
to
the
me, right?
ambulance to get out there.
Mhm.
I've known
And
this
she
little girl
lived.
since she was 4.
That's
And
crazy. Well,
yeah,
She's
it's
doing
true
it.
because my wife is a nurse, right? And my wife is the one who did CPR on me. She saw me go down. We were in the middle of an argument when it happened, and I was going to show her, if you know what I mean, and did what I did. And I woke up days later not knowing what the hell was going on in a hospital room. It was bad. And if it wasn't for her doing CPR, and it took 14 minutes for EMS to get to our house.
yeah.
And I'll be very clear with you. I had a lot of substances in my room, and she made sure at the time, while doing CPR, mind you, that things weren't visible.
Right.
Now, granted, when I got out of the hospital, none of that shit was in my house anymore, and she had cleaned that house from one end to the other, and I'm grateful for that. But even after that, that didn't stop me.
Right.
That
No.
only made me go harder, which is scary,
Sorry to hear that, Shauna. Lost her nephew to the same shit.
It's sad, y'all. Listen, the only thing you can do, and I mean this all the time, right? You can love somebody to death, but if death is their choice, there's no stopping it,
That's right.
right? And addiction is death. There is no middle ground. There
That little
just simply
girl,
isn't.
after they brought her back, I wanted to talk to her.
Mhm.
And I'm like, her name's Taylor. And I'm like, Tay, what is your bottom death? Because she just died. And they brought her back, and then she's still using.
Yeah.
Like,
Well,
some people can see their bottom ahead of time
Mhm.
and avoid it. Other people reach their bottom, and a lot of people's bottom is death.
a lot of people are searching for their bottom.
And
Yeah.
another thing is, like, Mab has a friend that's a doctor that can prescribe the medication to help you get off of opiates.
Mhm.
and she didn't want to do it.
Yeah.
She didn't want to do it. She's not ready. And
Well,
she's
you
under
know,
30. She's young.
well, she'll quit when she hits the coffin,
Right. When she's ready, but
or when she's not, or when she dies. I mean, I hate to say it like that with all due respect to y'all. I mean,
know. I mean, we think the same thing. Like it's been like 10 years too. It's been a long time.
is she
Yeah.
intravenous?
No.
No.
No, not
Well, at
intravenous.
least
Just
I don't think so.
Smoking it?
she's overdosing. She's intravenous. I don't really know. I mean,
No, she's smoking it, I think.
I don't know. I haven't seen her
Smoking
in
it.
years. So
But with that stuff, where they mix it, you don't know which part of
you don't know
what
what
you
you're
got
getting. And
stronger
it's,
than the other part of what you got. So you could have a little pile or whatever, and
Well-
one piece could be 10 times stronger than the piece that looks the same.
right. Plus it's like
Tilt your
10
camera down a
times
little.
stronger than the other opiates out there. It is really, really powerful.
Honey, could you
sorry, my wife came in. I apologize.
That's
turn your
okay.
camera, tilt it down a little bit because your head's kind of in the
Me?
bottom. Yeah.
Y'all want to see the greatest thing ever?
Oh, cheesecake.
Oh,
No, it is apple cake. It's
that's
like
not
apple.
fair.
It's like apple pie with like cake in it. With like, oh,
Donna, I went and gave her parents some Narcan.
Yeah,
So they had
Donna,
it
we
on
had
hand.
Narcan. The girl I work with, her husband is a firefighter,
mhm.
and so he gave us Narcan, and we gave it to them.
We carry it. We carry it in all of our vehicles,
Yeah.
and then we have a medical bag in both of the vehicles or two of the vehicles as well. I keep a medical bag in my vehicle, and it normally has 4 to 6 doses of Narcan in it,
Right.
along with some other things. And my wife has actually had to use hers multiple times in active overdoses, driving down the road, especially, excuse me, especially in Nashville. There was a situation where she went to the ATM and she looks on the side of the ATM. She hears something that's interesting or different. And there's a guy laying there overdosing, and a quick boom, she was able to hit him and bring him back. But, the funny thing about that is, have you ever Narcaned someone and they want to come out fighting you?
Because you
I've never
screwed the
done it.
pie up.
Yeah.
Well, because it kills all of the opiates inside of their body. It kills
Right.
everything. So they go
Kills the
into
buzz.
immediate withdrawal.
Yeah,
So,
you're pissed.
Oh, yeah.
I gotta go get pissed right now. I'll be right back.
listen, they make fun of me all the time because I have a 90-year-old bladder. I can't help it.
Same. Nobody wants to road trip with me because I'm like constantly stopping.
Oh, no, that's where you get the funnel and the hose to a jug between your legs and you just rock it.
Easier for you.
I mean, granted, I will take that as fact. Yes. Listen, I'm glad that y'all have come on and y'all are doing a live. I think it's about time for Mab to quit being a little pansy and get back online.
Well, so here's the thing is he always wants me to do it with him, and I'm not super chatty, and so I'm like, go, do it by yourself. But he
It's
wants
not
me
as
to
much fun.
True, but
It's
also,
a good bonding thing.
Yeah, I work during the week and he doesn't, and so a lot of times I'm just not up for it. And
Right.
So yeah, it's been a while, and we've been doing other stuff.
What is Mab? He's like 87 now, 88, something like that. How did you marry such an old man? I don't know how you managed to do that. You should have probably found one your age or something. God. Don't tell him I said that when he comes in here. He might fall over his walker and hurt me.
I know. We're only 7 years apart, so that makes me 80. So.
Are you older than he is?
No, he's 7 years
he
older
robbed
than
the
me.
cradle. All right, we got it. Mab robbed the cradle.
7 years is nothing.
You said y'all been together 15 years. Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Y'all's second marriage each?
Yeah.
You got to learn from the first one to get a better second one. That's what
was a friggin' nightmare. It was really short too, like less than a year. it was just a mistake. I knew better, and I was just in one of those places where I was like 30 something. All my friends were married, and I'm like, I should be married. Why? How come I'm not married? And the guy was crazy, but I'm like, well, he's
Oh,
the
that
only one
guy.
that's asked, so I'll marry him. And then he literally went nuts on me. He became really verbally abusive, and so I bailed.
Yeah, we were both, when I met her, it was in a church, and my friend of mine introduced me to her, and I'm like, "You're gonna be mine one day." And I was with somebody
That didn't
else.
sound creepy at all, Mab. You're gonna be
No.
mine one day.
You know, when you see that chick and you're like, that's what
Yeah, my wife. I met my wife to be a booty call, and I never left.
That's funny.
That's a true story. We met on a website, and it was strictly supposed to be a booty call. And yeah, she kidnapped me and hasn't let me go. We're 10 years, 11 years later, and here we are.
That's awesome.
No, it's not. It's kidnapping.
You look okay.
She feeds me.
A 9.
Obviously, she makes you cake.
She does.
Couldn't be
Yes.
that bad.
Well, she's a Yankee, so I'm just glad she knows how to make cake.
15
Say that
years.
again?
Yeah.
15.
15.
Yeah, that's 14.
It'll be 16 this year.
Oh, wow. You put up with Mab for 16 years?
Mm.
Bless your soul. You got a special place in heaven. I swear.
No,
Yep.
he puts up with me and my.
We put up with each other, but how many arguments have we gotten in? Like 2?
Not very
3?
many. So Mab also has a daughter who he had custody of and was 13 or 14.
Oh, okay.
And that was really hard. I didn't know what I was getting myself into.
You don't have any children yourself, I assume?
No, by choice.
So
And
Mrs MAB was pulling me one way and the daughter was pulling me this way, right?
that's the only thing we fought about until she moved out.
Yeah.
Do y'all get along now?
Yes, we do. And we have for a while, but it was really rough in the beginning. And I don't know that she has fully forgiven me. So we're not close, but
I think
we
she
get
is.
along.
Listen, here's the thing, Miss Mab. Let me explain something. You may not want to hear my explanation, but let me say something. You know, it's amazing how time in life will make somebody really appreciate the things they once didn't. Right. And sometimes you won't get that appreciation to your last couple of breaths in life. Right. That's just the unfortunate thing. And I didn't really appreciate my mother. I was a mama's boy through and through. Right. Like, no doubt, like my mama was my world, but I never expressed or understood just how much I needed her, how much she meant to me, and how much I just wanted to say I'm sorry for the stupid arguments until after I lost her. So it's a weird fucking thing, right? Especially to be a bonus parent and you're trying to be that middle ground between like friend and disciplinarian to a certain extent.
Yeah.
You know, and you're with daddy. You know what I'm saying? You're with the girl's dad. Like, that's daddy. That's everything, you know? And she came out of his ball sack. You didn't. So that's a big difference too. Okay. He has more ownership, or she has more ownership. I don't know if you know this or not, but rules are rules.
Right. And I don't need that. I don't need that validation from her either. Like, and I know over the years, like, that she has, you know, the advice that she didn't want to take in the beginning, she ended up taking it and things like that. And so that's enough to know that at least I imparted some wisdom on her and she valued it. You know, she doesn't need to say anything.
Sometimes the best things to say are nothing at all.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, and apologies.
Sometimes the best prayers are the ones unanswered.
Oh, Bubba, I got one better than that. I'll double down with you. Sometimes the best prayers are the ones you didn't know were answered because they were answered in a way you weren't prepared to receive.
That's true too.
You know, God's an amazing God, but God's only as amazing as you will allow him to be in your life. He's not going to go over and beyond if you're not ready to accept what he's bringing you.
Right.
Real simple. The same way with sobriety. You're not ready to get sober unless you're ready to get sober, you know?
Rose said she's going to do a rose raid
Yeah, Team Rose
Bringing
Center
all
people
the
are
peeps over
coming.
here.
A
Thank you,
rose
Team
raid?
Rose.
What's a rose raid?
You ever heard of Team Rose?
No, I haven't. I'm not familiar with that one.
She's
Real peaceful
hilarious.
work.
I don't get into a lot of creators' lives, man. Here's what I learned early on this YouTube journey. We are 2 days away from our 1 year freshman year being done here on YouTube. And
Really?
I have learned one thing, and that's that stay to your fucking self and embrace yourself with your community. The community that we've built over on the Elevated Truth podcast and now on the Elevated Truth social page. It's a group of people from all, like, green team members, like literally there's all different people from all different, dynamics of this true crime world. And they all are able to get along in my shit. Like, they're able to talk and discuss things. It's wild to me that an uneducated, redneck with a microphone can get people to have logical conversations. But you have these people who worked for the FBI and, all these, but they can't have a logical sit down conversation with anybody. It just absolutely amazes me. And it tells me that the non-educated, and I mean that with respect, are more open-minded and respectful than those who think they know everything.
Yeah.
What's up, Rose? Well, the people who think they're educated that got, what do you call it? Educated.
Got their degrees.
Degree?
Got their degrees. They come out of college and they realize that a lot of degrees are just worthless.
Most of them.
Yeah.
I tell people all the time, if you're not going to school to be a doctor or a lawyer, something like that, something where you absolutely have to have a degree, go get a trade.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
Go get a trade, man. There's not enough plumbers. There's not enough electricians. You know what I'm saying? Y'all are sitting here working these 9 to 5s, making $20 an hour, struggling to pay your bills.
Yep.
And there's so many other ways to bring cash in. It's one of the reasons, guys, I talk about side hustles all the time. It's one of the reasons I brought the sports gear to YouTube and let people, get on that. Guys, even if you're making $1 a product, okay, $1 a product, if you sell 1,000 products, that's $1,000.
Yep.
Right.
That's a bill. That's a car payment. That's a used vehicle.
Insurance payment.
Yeah, that's anything. That's Christmas at the end of the year for your kids.
That's almost half of the property tax bill.
Yeah. But people don't want to think on the small scale. They think, well, if I can't make $1 million, I don't want to do it. Fuck that. Let me make that side money.
Yeah, you got to start somewhere,
I made my money off the side hustle when I was doing the patent work because I started, my patent sales were actually a different company. So I was working with my dad, building his company, getting a salary, 3-figure salary. And then I had another company with him as 50-50 on the side. And we would take in inventions, or I would invent something and he would own half of it, and then we'd move it to the other company. Then I would sell them out of that company, and then we would split the money. And it was long-term capital gains because that's how intellectual property is treated. It's like a house that you're building. And at that time it was 15%. So every $1,000, every $100 we made, we paid $15.
What is it at now?
20 something.
Fuck. And that's why you put everything in a trust, my friends.
Yeah.
Everything in a trust.
We got to redo our trust. I got a trust, but I haven't redone it. I have to redo it and incorporate all our shit.
I preach on this all the time, Mab. Get you a trust, put your house, your cars, your lawnmower, your weed eater, your fish tank. I don't give a damn if it's got value. Put it in your trust. No one can ever take it from you.
You can redo that trust every year or two to incorporate your new acquisitions. You know what I'm saying?
Yep, for sure.
Yeah,
people don't understand.
We would have got screwed if we would have. The house we inherited from her mother that was in the trust, been in the trust for how many years? If she wouldn't have had that in the trust, we would have
capital gains would have been horrible.
Well, not only that, but her husband was a horrible person, and he wanted that house. But it was, I mean, I think she told him when she met him, you know, this house goes to my daughter. I'm an only
Right.
child.
Yeah.
It's always been for her. You know, you're not going on the title. You're not getting it. You can live here after I die, but it's her house.
Mhm.
And
He couldn't handle her being the boss.
he was just such a miserable person that he couldn't handle that. So he lived there like a year and a half after my mom died, and then he left. And
Good riddance.
I
God,
almost beat his ass one day out there in the driveway.
I don't
he
doubt
was
that.
awful. But anyway, so yeah, that's how we got that. And yeah, so her trust is gone because she's gone. So
Mhm.
I haven't,
You haven't transferred it into a trust?
not
No,
yet.
so
Mm.
we have to.
No, we need to. It's just,
I have the
God, everything
folder out
costs
already.
so much money. I mean, the lawyer that we used,
You shouldn't be. Listen, you should be able to transfer it into trust with a signing of the deed. Literally, you should be able to sign your deed at the bank or whoever your you probably don't have any loans on it. It's probably paid off, but whoever's handling, you don't even need an attorney to add to it. All you're doing is transferring the deed. I'm assuming the deed was transferred into your name, correct?
Well, that would be her transferring her house into my trust.
Well, I mean, even if she started a trust is what, $2,500 to get started. It's not an astronomical amount.
And we're going to combine it to make a combined trust. It doesn't make sense that she would sign in her
Right.
property.
Let's sign it over to your trust. Yeah, she can sign it directly over to your trust.
That's what I think.
$25. It's a $25.
That's tomorrow. $25.
Except my name, he did that trust right before we got married.
So you're not on his trust.
It's not a joint trust. I'm the beneficiary, but it's not
right.
It's not the MAB and MAB trust. So.
That should cost you about $50 literally altogether, putting you on the trust and transitioning the house.
I got to do the research and do it. I can do that, no problem.
If you have any questions, Mab, reach out to me. I'll be more than glad to help you on that.
Right, because I used to do work for lawyers. And
they've just made it a lot easier. Mab, back in the day, it was super difficult. $10,000 to start a trust. It was a lot, right? Today, they've streamlined it so much. It's like 20. It's like opening up an S corp. Same cost as opening an S corp. 22 to 2,500.
So question. So somebody asked, is there an effective way to find out if a family trust existed if certain family members had it covered up?
Nope.
And
that's
had
what a
lawyer
trust is
draw
for.
up their own agreement.
Nope. That's what a trust is for. It's untraceable. It's untraceable. You can't find what's in a trust because the trust isn't assigned, even though there's owners
in the trust, but you can probably find if the trust exists.
Not necessarily. Not if you filed it right. They can't.
If I look at the title, if I look at the title of the house, the title report, it should say transferred into a trust.
It might say it was transitioned to a trust, but it shouldn't tell you what trust. And even if you were worried about that, that's cool. You're going to set yourself up a secondary shell, LLC or S corp, and you're going to hide the trust within the shell company,
right?
Which is 100% legal.
Yeah.
You know, everything, the idea behind a trust is to protect your assets, but not only protect your assets, it's to eliminate those assets, right? And so, yes, it will show that the house was put into a trust. It may even give you a trust reference number, but that number is going to lead you to nowhere unless you're in the legal system.
Right. And what I want to do is get her, I want to start a business so that I can, because I'm doing work on that house, tens of thousands of dollars worth of work that I can't expense because I'm doing it myself.
Do you already have an LLC?
I shut them both down.
Okay.
I need to start another one.
Well, then go on to, you're going to go on to
I know how to do
LegalZoom. Go on LegalZoom. $225 you can LLC, and they do everything. You do like one sheet of paperwork. They do everything else. And then the other, it's $2,200, between $2,200 and $2,500 to start an S corp. And, you know, if you're going to go with an LLC, you might as well S corp it so you can umbrella.
I could S corp you for way under that, $500.
Well, you might, if you do it all yourself. Let me restate that. If you're using a program like LegalZoom, that's what it's going to cost you.
LegalZoom, there's another company called, I'm trying to remember the name of it. Oh, I've got it, and it's cheaper than that. It was when I did it.
Well, like I said, if you're doing it yourself, sure. And maybe there's other places. I just like LegalZoom because LegalZoom is licensed in all 50 states.
Seal and everything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
So
it's licensed in all. Go ahead.
Another question is, but a family trust that gets dissolved without the family's knowledge, isn't that trust fraud?
It can be absorbed.
A family
trust can
dissolved, so the trustee would have to do that.
The trustee can absorb it though. So if you dissolve and you immediately absorb and you absorb into a secondary trust, then once again you've taken that out of the equation.
That
Say that again.
Sucks.
What if you absorb the assets to a person?
Then I mean, even you could, but that's trade. Like you're talking about, if you absorbed it and you didn't put it into a trust,
right?
Then it would be traceable. It would pop back up on public forum.
Yeah, you would be the owner.
Yes, it would show you the owner.
Grant deed in your name.
Correct.
So
unless the only exception to that is if the house title was transferred into the trust and renamed in the trust, then you might have a little bit of problem without your board approving, because you're going to need a board, right? If you have a trust, you need a board. The board has to vote on anything you do anyway. If you're pulling
trust, we don't have a board in our trust.
You should, and the reason for that is so that no one can do exactly what's being talked about right now, which would be fraud. Nobody can even bring that to the table. So your board, for your example, would be your daughter, your wife, and you.
Yeah.
Right, there's your board.
So this person is saying that property was sold off. So selling off property that was in the family trust. The family would be the board. So
not necessarily. The board would be assumed or assigned. Sorry, not assumed. It would be assigned. So if
the property, selling off the property that was in family,
so normally there's a trustee.
Would have to be the trustee doing it.
Correct, and that would be essentially the president of that trust, right? Like they're up here, but they still can't make decisions without the trust, the board of trustees, right? You've got the main person, then you got the board of trustees.
I wouldn't want to have that set up because I would want to have, control.
Well, for ours, like it was my mom's trust and I was the trustee.
Right.
And that was it.
So
she couldn't have any power until she died.
But then she got dementia, so I ended up taking it.
Power of attorney. You took power of attorney. Okay.
Yeah.
Medical.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I took. There was another word for it. I don't remember, but because of the dementia.
Oh, guardian ad litem. Did you become guardian ad litem?
No.
It was medical POA too.
Okay.
Oh.
All that, but there was.
What do they call that when you have someone assigned if you might die from a surgery or something? You would know that.
No, there was another term because she couldn't make decisions anymore. And so, shoot.
That's how I was with my mother. I was her power of attorney.
I don't remember.
I had power of attorney over her health decisions, over her finances, over my father. I had power of attorney all.
When you have that in case of somebody's death.
Well, it's someone's death.
Having the decision making of their, whether they're selling support or not. What's that called?
Their final disposition. It's power of attorney. It's the same thing. It's a medical power of attorney. There's two different types of power of attorney. There's a state power of attorney and medical power of attorney. I happen to be both with my parents. And it really sucks. It's the worst thing in the world. Both of my parents went into hospice before they died. My father committed suicide. Wasn't very successful when he tried. And so he passed of the resulting after, effects of that. And then my mother passed away of ALS, Lou Gehrig's disease. And I lost him 2 months and 29 days apart.
Damn. Oh my God.
Yep. But you know what? Here's the thing. My father stood in a pulpit and preached for so many years about suicide and going to hell and all the things that go along with that. And ultimately, the one thing, him taking his own life taught me was even the strongest men in God's presence can fall to heartbreak. And, him and my mama were married 40 something odd years. And my mama was a little person. She was 3'9". And so my father took care of her, her whole life, essentially. And so when she passed, I mean, what the hell do you do? Like, what do you do? I can tell you very clearly, if something happened to my wife, I'm stuck starting a shotgun. I'm not staying around for it. Like, that's just me. My love for my wife outweighs any moment I would want to live without her, you know? But I understand it.
It's called successor
I'm not
trustee.
to that point. I mean, I could carry on, and I think
I
you
couldn't.
could too, right?
It would
I mean,
suck,
we're older though, see.
but yeah.
We've been through.
Yeah, I couldn't. I depend on my wife for everything. She is my life support, if that makes sense. Like,
Yeah.
without her, I would be nothing, and that's just that simple. You know, not everybody has that same thing, but when you have someone literally bring the life back into your body and into your soul and give that second chance, you know what I'm saying? Like, you just, you know,
Most connected to it.
yeah,
Really.
it's a soul welding. You know what I mean? It's not love. It's your souls are welded together. She's an asshole, though. Don't get it twisted. She is a fucking asshole.
I could meet her sometime. That would be fun.
Yeah, nobody's met her on here. I keep her very protected. She's not a social media person. She does not like social media. She is. So she's never done a drug. She's never gotten in trouble. She's never any of those things. You know what I mean? And so I'm the exact opposite.
She's not a virgin, is she?
She might feel like it. She's been with me for 10 years. You know, it's just, it is what it is. I slipped and fell in a wet spot one time, and now all of a sudden I'm the man. So whatever.
Yeah. Funny.
Marriage is not easy, Bubba. Marriage wasn't designed to be easy. Women are fucking crazy, right? But the thing is, I couldn't live my life without a good woman in my life. You know what I just couldn't, and specifically my good woman. So, you know. But also on the same note, my wife's awesome because she realizes that my eyes aren't broken. You know what I mean? Just because, you know, you're married doesn't mean that your eyes are broken. It doesn't mean that you all of a sudden died and you don't have any type of response to anything else, right? And so the one thing I treasure about my relationship with her is the openness, right? Like, if I see a nice ass, I'm gonna be like, look at that ass. And there's no offense, right? And vice versa. She'll see a good looking dude and be like, damn. And I'm like, shut up. You know what I mean? Like, it just doesn't affect us like that. And I think it's because we've gotten to a point in our lives where it's like, listen, bitch, if they want to deal with your shit, let them come get you. Okay. They will bring you back. I promise. Okay.
Well,
They
and you
will
just
bring you
can't
back.
be, God, people that are that insecure with themselves and in their relationships, it's really sad. You know, the people that are just really jealous. I mean, I was like that in high school, but I mean, I was 15 years old. You know, you grow up and you grow out of that. I don't understand adults that are, my ex was like that. I mean, I remember I was putting on chapstick before we went to some spin class and he got all bent out of shape that I was putting lipstick on, and who was I putting it on for? And I'm like, I'm putting it on for me.
Wait a second. Why? Hold on. We're gonna have to have a discussion about this. Why are you putting lipstick on to go to a spin class? I'd have asked some questions too.
Lipstick wasn't lipstick. It was what?
It was
Lip
like
gloss.
Burt's Bees chapstick, like
Oh, that's
tinted
different.
chapstick. No, like my lips are always chapped, so I wear this. I carry it with me everywhere, and it's sitting in my car, putting it on, and he was sitting in his car next to me, and like screaming at me through my closed window about why am I putting lipstick on? Who am I? And I'm like, are you joking right now? Like that's the kind
You
of.
must have been pretty insecure.
That's so weird.
That's and then. Whatever my reasoning, whatever my excuse was, whatever my answer was, wasn't good enough. And then we would fight over shit like that. I
That's
just couldn't take
crazy.
it. I'm like, this is ridiculous.
I've
You know,
lasted
but
about
that's the thing.
10
It makes you learn what you will and will not accept.
Yeah.
You know, that's the way I look at it. I'm sending out some messages that you're live, Mab. I'm not ignoring you. Hold on.
You're good.
Trying to get some more folks in here. I'm sure that Yep, here they're coming. It took one message, and here they come.
Oh boy.
Rooster, what do you call it?
We'll see
Ray.
how many of them come in.
We got 25. Here they come. 26.
Baby
We'll
Firefly.
We'll see if they come in.
Oh, Charming Jenna's back. She was eating.
There's
dinner.
Baby Firefly. Charming's in here. Odin Girl's in here. There we go. Y'all start sending some messages out. Let's get some people over here in Mab's
Odin
live.
Girl's been here. Odin Girl's been here.
Yeah, she got rid of her crazy husband, and I got rid of my crazy wife right around the same time.
I know y'all were here earlier. I was in the bathtub as y'all were blowing my phone up. I was trying to have a peaceful. I was had bubbles going and had little Frank Sinatra in the background.
Mab likes his bubble baths for sure.
Yeah, boy, that's my shit. He was telling me about it. I like to have my little rubber ducky in there sometimes that I'll let float around.
I bought him a rubber ducky. Yep.
Sometimes I'll listen to Bigfoot emails.
Oh, he's big on Sasquatch.
This channel here, howtohunt.com or how to hunt.
You look like someone who'd believe in some damn Sasquatch. It's just Bertha escaped away from the cabin again. It's not really Sasquatch, okay?
They're real.
Come
He
out
lost
to the
her
Pacific
razor.
Northwest and you'll
Yeah,
there's
come
a
to
lot of
this
shit
area.
going on around here.
Okay, here's the deal. Why has nobody shot one?
They have.
Where?
Government
I can't
covers it
speak
up.
to any of this stuff. I just sort of listen in the
Oh, the
background.
government.
Mab's the expert
Like
in everything,
UFOs.
pretty much.
I think if a crash UFO happened, that somebody would.
Oh,
see
she
it on
wolf
the
likes
news or something.
Sasquatch.
I mean, I look like Sasquatch. I'm not so sure that makes me Sasquatch.
No, I mean, if you.
You know who else looks like Sasquatch? Cluminati. Straight up like
He
Sasquatch.
doesn't
I ain't
look
even
like
playing.
that.
Straight up like Sasquatch.
Sasquatch woman.
I'm just saying. There's a whole different breed. I'm telling y'all. And she won fucking Turtle Island. Huh.
Yeah.
Just saying. They're gonna need a boomerang to get the belt around her.
You're number 2.
Listen, I'm allowed to make jokes about her, okay? It's my favorite thing to do.
All right.
The day that she slipped and broke her hand on dog piss was the day that opened up the doors for me to make fun of her. I was on the phone with her, bro. When I tell y'all that was the funniest shit in the entire world. She is straight up talking mad shit on the phone to me, right? Just talking mad shit. And I hear her stand up. And then all of a sudden you hear, ah, pow. And I'm like, hello? And she's like, like it knocked the air out of her or something. And I am dying laughing. And then all of a sudden you hear footsteps. You know what I mean? And Cletus comes around the corner and he was like, well, goddamn, you need some help up? She's like, I think I broke my hand.
I put a message in her chat the other day. I said, I think I got cluminitis and none of the antibiotics are working.
Damn. Listen, that was a spider bite, okay? No, Clue's good people. Clue's misunderstood, right? Clue's misunderstood. It's because she lets people misunderstand her. I think she kind of gets her rocks and jollies by being misunderstood. But she genuinely has a soft heart. It's just way under all those layers of asshole, you know?
Yeah.
It's somewhere. I'm not sure where.
I've heard of Savage, but I haven't seen her.
Who?
Savage. She kind of was in Dolly's circle, I think, for a while.
Yeah, no comment.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, anytime someone has to put mayonnaise all over their face for views, I'm out.
Mayonnaise?
Yeah. I'm just saying, if you know, you know.
I don't know.
No, thank you. I don't like creators that lie. I'm just not a fan of lying, right? Like, that's all.
There's 2 things I hate: liars and steal thieves.
Yeah. Well, I mean, for me, it's a liar because thieving goes with lying. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like they go hand in hand. And the way I look at it is I'd much rather you tell me what it is straight up to my face than lie to me. Because I'm gonna see it through your teeth anyway.
Oops.
Right.
I mean, it just is what it is. But listen, y'all, I really do appreciate y'all letting me come up and hang out and have a conversation with y'all. Mab, you're always welcome on my panel. And listen, we're gonna have to tag team a little bit up next time we have this damn Turtle Island, and we're gonna have to throw Clue's ass up off the island.
Yep.
We're gonna have to kick some ass and take some names.
I'm not a very good loser. I don't like to lose.
No.
Okay.
I'm pretty good at a competitor. I got third, and I never even had a freaking content.
I just want to know why second and third didn't get a little prize too. You know what I mean?
I
We should have
know.
had a little prize.
They gave a second prize a couple times back.
They didn't give me no damn second prize. Dolly, where's my damn second prize?
I know.
Dumplin was second and had got a prize at one point.
So
I'm pissed off.
I want to say hi. Capital K came in a little while ago.
Capital K,
And
Wild Wanderer.
Wild Wanderer.
Yeah, I remember.
What's going on, Capital K Production?
I
Did
don't
y'all know Capital K Productions is shooting a awesome OnlyFeets commercial right now? I don't know if y'all knew that or not, but yeah, onlyfeets.com. It's who's been sponsoring our show for a while. And if you too like toes, go join onlyfeet.com.
What the hell is that?
Okay.
I don't know, Mab. Your picture was on the cover page. I was trying to figure out why it was there. You know what I mean? So maybe you can tell us what it is.
I had no idea. My brother was into feet. He had a shoe thing going on.
Ugh.
He sold stripper shoes on the internet. Made a lot of money.
You know what I made a lot of money on one
Like those
time, bro?
really-
Sold used stripper shoes. He would go
That's
around.
even better.
He would go around to the clubs and he'd pick up the extra used shoes, and then he would sell them on the internet, and there was like a market for them.
And
Like to other strippers or to like men?
The men who had like that fetish.
That's weird.
And then after he passed, unfortunately,
We ended
there
up
were
with fucking
boxes and
500
boxes,
pairs of shoes.
boxes of shoes that ended up at Mab's father's house. I don't even know, what did we do with all those?
I think he gave them to some garage sale person or something.
How many
I
pairs
mean-
did you keep though, Miss Mab? That's don't
Yeah.
lie. How many did you keep?
I'll
Did you
never
take-
tell. Oh my God, it was wild. His poor son. Oh.
I'll tell you what. I'll tell you what'll make you a lot of money. You really want to make a lot of money? Order you a pallet of overstock and shelf pull adult toys. Okay, swear to you, a whole pallet of them is going to be about 500 pieces. They're all new, right? They're not used or anything.
Right.
But you get 500 in a pallet for $600 or $700. So you got $1.10 to $1.15 in each piece. And if you look at, say, the rose, for example, those things are going for $55, $60. I'm just saying, straight money.
And you sell them just how?
I mean, online, I could literally, I'll get a pallet. Listen, Mab, I'll get a pallet next week and sell them on my damn YouTube channel. Right? As long as there's no nudity,
That's
you put
crazy.
a post-it over the top, like
Oh my
over the head
God.
of anything. You know what I mean? Just put a little post-it there, and it's TOS.
Have you sold any on your channel?
I haven't, but if I did, I'm sure I could sell a lot of them. These women on here are wild. Okay. Clue put a link for the rose, right? Just put a link and ended up had to have made a couple $100 on that supporting link.
Oh my
Rose?
gosh. Targeted
Rose?
Patton says he's glad he's tall because he thinks feet are gross.
I agree. They're disgusting.
Or Wild Wanderer says have a house party.
You could have house parties, and I'm not going to have a house party because they frown upon
Right.
the guys doing it. But there's a lot of money to be made. Everybody needs one. Everybody needs one.
Everybody
So-
has one. Thank you.
And some of y'all
Captain
really
K.
need to be using them because y'all are some evil, just nasty people. Y'all need a little bit more happy in your damn life.
Yeah, that's true. That's
Oh.
gross.
How's that
though.
gross? How's that gross? It's not gross. It's natural. Y'all can say what you want to. I like money. I don't care. As long as it's legal money, I like legal money.
My dad used to be 6'2", and now I'm taller than he is.
Man, all y'all tall people can kiss my ass or the top
That's
of my head. Either way,
same.
I'm short as shit.
What are you, 5'5" or something?
Fuck you. 5'5".
You said
I'm
short.
5'9" ish, depending
Well,
on whether I
That's how
have.
tall Mab is.
He's taller
Well,
than
then
I am.
he's short as fuck.
Hey, I'm only
What?
5'2", so it's perfect.
I
think
mean,
I
no
hide
stool needed.
the dog's pounding on the floor.
Right. I mean, tall men are attractive, but I would not ever want to be with a tall man because I'm 5'2". Like, that's ridiculous. It looks stupid.
I mean, what you
I'm not
say
one of
looks
those girls.
stupid to other people might not think so, but I mean, we can get Mab some platform shoes.
There you go.
You know,
No,
I wear
it's
my
perfect.
boots. I'm an inch taller, inch and a half.
yeah, that's why I love my boots. If I'm going out, then boots are going on because all of a sudden I'm 5'10", bitches.
Put my boots
Yeah.
on and I strap up my pew pew. I feel pretty tall when I'm walking around.
That's how I used to be till I caught my felony. But I was a firearms instructor for quite some years, and then
Too
you
bad
lose
you don't
that
live
ability.
closer. I need some serious help.
I can always verbally talk you through it, but I can't physically show you anymore. Not for
Yeah.
another 4 years and a few months.
Well, there used to be a great
have a time limit.
range, like 15 minutes away, and they shut down. And now the closest places to go practice are like 45 minutes away. And
Go to
I'm
the
just
desert.
not
What about
into it.
Gilroy?
That's even farther.
What'd you say?
We live on the coast.
What about Gilroy?
Still, that's like 30, 40 minutes away. Just to go practice. Like, I don't know. I'm lazy.
Do y'all live in a
commute.
community, or do you have like some land that's away from people?
We could go out. We could go out in the middle of nowhere and start blamming some rounds.
Probably.
That's why the desert's great. If you live near the desert.
We don't. And I commute for work. So it's like when the weekend comes along, I don't want to be driving all over the place.
So here's what I suggest. There are some really awesome things that you can do with training now. So they have very similar like Nintendo type games, but they are weapon specific. So what you do is you'll use your actual firearm. You will place this little device on top, right? And so it goes into the barrel and it will register through your barrel, and you can practice. The only thing you don't get is the recoil, right? But if you're just practicing your draw out, and then it'll show you where your laser is on the screen. It's kind of like a golf simulator, but for firearms.
So my stepdaughter got us, I forget what it's called, but I saw something like that online, and I'm like, oh, this might be helpful for me with it's mainly my aim. And
are you going to the left or the right?
I don't remember. My problem is I am right-handed and left eye dominant.
That's my problem. So I feel you. So that's what I've had to overcome. So let me give you the easiest trick in the book. So when you take from your holster, are you coming to your chest and out, or are you raising up?
Probably raising up, honestly.
Okay, there's
I know you're not supposed to do that. It's so hard to
it's real easy. Practice this. Take your mag out, right? Put you your safeties, make sure everything's your weapon's clear. Holster it. All I want you to do is stand in front of a mirror from the side and literally just up, click until your arm's tired, right? Then you're going to go from up, click to up, out, back, down, click, right? Over and over and over and over and over again, so that it becomes just muscle memory.
I'm like up,
out. Yeah, we were taught to come up, out.
Right. So you should come the way it should work is you should slide your hand from your hip up your rib cage. When you get underneath the nipple, unless they're to your knees, when you get up to the nipple, you're going to turn. Your gun turns while you're holding it to your ribs. Why is that? 2 reasons. A, you're protecting your weapon as it comes out. And B, if I need to fire from here, I can fire from here and eject out to my right.
Yeah, and I'm
Right? So
pulling
it's
the
never
shirt
going
up
over my
with my
back.
left hand at the same time, so I don't get any interference, right? Because you got to have it concealed, right?
Mm-hmm. Oh, you have to have it concealed there. So
Yeah.
here's the thing about concealed that's really interesting. So if you're concealing by simply a shirt or a jacket, say we'll go with a shirt first. So a shirt's really interesting. I'm going to see how I can do this. All right. So if I'm going to show y'all like this, right? If I'm coming from my side, say it's concealed. Here's the best thing. Take your hand when you're talking to people. Don't put it on your weapon, right? Take it and take your thumb and put it right down the back of your pants. Having a conversation. Sometimes I'll do it with both hands. So it just looks like I'm holding on to my belt. Well, what has that done for me? That has freed open my hand here. So all I've got to do now is here. You understand what I'm saying? So it's if I'm on the back, if you're on the gun, it's illegal. Never rest your hand on your gun. You're going to get in trouble. Put it behind. So all I've got to do is come here, out.
Why can't you rest your hand on your weapon?
Well, there's 2 reasons. One, it just looks bad, right? It's almost like a dick cocky move. You know what I mean? And it also it lets other people know that you got a firearm, even if it's covered. The one thing I tell people is open carrying is the stupidest shit in the world because you're the first person that's taking a bullet to the dome.
And
you know what I mean?
Like when I just wear a T-shirt and I'm in Home Depot, nobody's ever noticed. But it should be noticeable if somebody has eyes to see.
Are you inside carrying on the loop or the outside?
Inside.
So does it go to the inside of your pants or does it hang on the outside of your pants?
Inside.
No, that's why they don't see it.
Yeah, you can't.
And the other thing I always did is most people carry their pistol where the butt goes back like this, the handle goes back, and you can see it protruding out the shirt. I'm different. I took my pistol and turned it upward more. So like here's the trigger pointing almost out the front of my stomach, right?
Right.
And I've got a 3 or 4 point resistance. So I've got to push down, tap down, and then pull up, right? If it's at an angle, it's all one move. Ba-boom. When it's up and down, you've got to push and pull. So you want that as quick as you can, up, out.
Mine sits right next to my junk.
Oh, so you front carry.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. Don't cheddar bob yourself.
I've always worried about that.
But the other thing is, if you're firing, so if you're left eye dominant and right hand, that means that you are pulling to the left on your shot, which means you'll hit left of the target. So what I always tell people to do, close that left eye. Just close it. You can close it. Okay, you can't close it. Put an eye patch over it.
I close mine.
I can't
put an eye
wink
patch
with that
over it.
side. I can wink with
You
my
don't-
right, but I can't do it on the left.
But if you put an eye patch over it,
Right.
it forces you to dominate with that eye, and then go to the range with that, and literally watch as you. A lot of it's body position too. So left eye dominant, right hand dominant. It's just natural that you're gonna, especially when you pull, you're gonna to your left, right? Because your eye's looking here. So instead of doing this, move your head here. Go from the other, move your head over and force yourself to look down the barrel or the sight with that right eye.
The right eye.
If you're here, it's
Okay.
natural to go down with the left eye. You're not even watching this. You're peripherally, right? So just move your head over, force that eye down the barrel.
That's easy enough.
I mean, and like I said, putting an eye patch over your eye while you train will change so much about your firing ability.
Well, we went through all this stuff to get to this point, and it kind of, I'm like, why doesn't she use her ability? I mean, if something happens, she's not going to be ready because it's at home. And I go out. Every time I go out, I'm packing.
Do y'all have to have a license there, don't you?
Yes.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was an ordeal to get it, but I'm just not comfortable enough with it to.
Well, then you don't have the right gun.
Yeah.
That's what, if you're not comfortable with it, it all comes down to you're not comfortable with the firearm. What are you carrying, a 22 or a 9mm?
9.
Okay, Glock?
Yeah.
Change to a snub-nosed Beretta 1911. Kimber specifically. It's heavy in the hand, equalized 45 for sure. Yeah. And the reason is if I'm going to have to shoot you, I want the round to do the work, not me.
That's why I carry the 45.
You know,
Yeah.
and a snub nose, or what's also known as a not a snub nose. It's considered an ultra elite carry. Kimber is what it is.
Mhm.
It's essentially a snub nose 1911. It weighs about
With a
3-ish
laser, I saw a guy at the range with one of those with laser, and that was
Yep.
bad.
Yeah, the
Yep.
laser would be nice. I should just get a laser and then I'd feel
Yeah.
a lot better.
Well, you can do that or just get the red dot. So the red dot doesn't laser, right? It only lasers for you. So the other person doesn't see the laser.
Right.
And that's where it's at. Now, I had that on my M4A3. So this is all before I was lost my right for weapons. I don't have any anymore. But I went and purchased the Sig Sauer M4A3 after the Colorado shooting at the theater. And it sounds wild, but the reason why I purchased it was at the time, obviously, I was in a position where I needed it on a daily basis. And it was concealable. It was registered as a handgun. And I was able to work with it effectively and it not be seen. So, and it's, if y'all ever want something that's a handgun, but also, you know, a 223, 5.56 dual, that's the way to go. And it's a wild, wild weapon.
All
Yeah, I
right,
want to get
well,
snub news.
I don't even know if
already
they
bought-
allow those in California. I don't know if M4A3s or A3s at all are allowed there.
I don't
Y'all
even
got some
know.
weird laws.
Yeah, we're, you know, our shit's screwed up here.
Well,
Bunch of-
listen, I appreciate y'all letting me come up here. I'm going to jump off here and get ready for my live tonight. But
All right,
you all have a
Well,
great night.
You too. Thank you for coming
Thank
up.
y'all.
It was great
Thanks for
chatting
coming
with
up.
you.
Bye.
All right.
Peace.
Bye. All right. Well,
All right.
I'll have
We
to
had truth up here.
message. What?
Said we had truth for a bit.
For a while. Yeah.
Yeah.
Got some message. Got some chats. I couldn't look at chat
Right.
while we were talking, so I'm sorry, you guys. Oh, Justin 83. Hey. And I'm jealous of you guys that have good aim because I suck.
I got pretty good aim.
I need somebody to stand with me and like help me. I don't know. I've never had good aim. We played darts when I was younger and I sucked at darts. I sucked at pool, like all of it. So
I'm pretty good at all that shit. But I started
Yeah.
shooting when I was like 7.
see, that's the thing is when you do it as an adult, an older adult for the first time, it's
Yeah.
hard.
We gotta get you comfortable enough to where
I know. See,
Yeah.
that's the thing is if I had to use it, I don't even know that I could.
that's why you gotta practice with it.
I know.
I
But
know
then,
that I could use mine. So I
yeah, I
pack it.
know. And that's why like great, you
See
carry.
you later.
and
I pack everywhere I go too.
you
even if
protect
it's-
me.
Yeah. If you're with me, I'll protect you.
Yep,
If you ain't with me, I can't do it.
I know.
I think we're gonna get ready to get out of here too.
Yeah, it's been a long
2
chatty
hours,
session.
40 minutes. We appreciate all you guys coming by, and we're gonna try to do this once a week. I think we're gonna start out with, and then
Wow, Targeted Patton. So Targeted Patton says he got the Marksmanship Award in basic training, best shot out of over 200. And it was the first time
Wow.
ever shooting a
natural.
rifle at that.
He's natural.
That's impressive. Yeah, there was somebody else I wanted. Oh, hi, see you later. So, yeah. Anyway, don't
Yeah,
wear a
1
bra
week
so they
to-
don't hang low. They don't hang low, girlfriend.
What? Birds? No.
No, he was talking about the nipple line, unless the nipple is way low.
No, she's high nipples. She got the body of a 25-year-old.
Thanks, hon.
Never had kids.
That's right. That makes a difference.
It does make a big difference.
No kids.
I don't have to go into something that somebody's already came out.
Oh my God. You just said that.
Makes a little, tightens up the situation, if you know what I'm saying.
Alrighty then.
With
On
that,
note-
King Alex,
Okay. Oh, Alex says
She-Wolf.
good night.
love you, She-Wolf. I love you, Shauna, Bogey, Hindsight's, Wild Wonder, Target Patent, see you later, Sean, New, Justin.
All right.
Thank you guys for coming by. I haven't been
Oh,
live
hey,
for.
Penny. Oh my gosh. You're here.
Penny
You're
Riddle?
here. Except we've been live for like 2.5
Penny
hours.
Riddle.
We're,
Oh my God. We're just getting ready to
going.
get out of here. And she shows up.
Whatever.
Dang it.
That's okay, capital K. Thanks, Justin. Thanks, you guys. Yeah, I think, what is it? It's almost 7 here. So I got to work tomorrow.
Yeah.
And got a couple things to do. So
I got to start working on my dump truck. I'm going to restore it. Hey, nice meeting you, Target Pad. All right. So,
all right, you guys, it was great to see everybody here. Thank you so much. Thank you, She-Wolf. You're awesome. I'm glad everybody behaves in chat. Really appreciate that everybody's
I
respectful
know we
here.
don't have any
It's
trolls or anything.
super important.
Awesome. All right, you guys. We will see you next week. Probably today's Sunday, right?
Yes.
We'll see you next Sunday.
Okay.
Peace.
It's a date.
Out.
Peace out.